Executives View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille and Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executives View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executives View. This is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world here on a Tuesday night, but you're here with the executives. I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down, man. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place, man. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify. We're doing big things in big places, and definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself, man. I got a slew of brothers that are sitting here ready to chop it up and talk about everything around the world of ball. My co-host is on one right now. Villain, what's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Bing, bong, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We here, baby. We here. Hey,
you know what? I can't even be mad at him. I cannot even be mad at him.
What up, I'll at your boy.
I can't even be mad at him, man. This man has he's endured some things, and, you know, as a battered Knicks fan, I'm gonna let him talk his stuff on tonight. But rest assured, I'm gonna put him in check here a little bit, man. Larry's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Hey, Barry, do you know that Ewing didn't win the ring, right? You know that, right?
He's Knicks royalty.
You know,
he's Knicks royalty.
You might want to go get. You might want to go get another picture.
Hey, listen. I'm on the whiz right now. Can't nobody bring me no bad news.
I'm just saying, man. You know who handed Ewing that L, right? You know who handed him that L.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, brother. Hey, go find Clyde Frazier's picture or something, man. Go find one of them.
It's right here.
I just had water come out of my nose.
Yeah, bro. Go find somebody who won one.
There you go.
I had water come out of my nose. That was definitely worth it.
Clyde right here. Clyde's right there. There you go.
Hey,
I don't want to I hate taking that one down. That's like that's in a better frame. I keep taking.
Oh, you mean because that one's probably got a ton of dust behind it, and you know it probably got some 1978 glue in it.
Oh my God!
Anywho, I got the Busher here, and I got Clyde here. Rest in peace, the Busher.
Man, why you ain't got no Pat Riley? I mean, why you ain't got no Phil Jackson, man? Phil got a ring, man. Put Phil back up there. Put Phil up there.
I don't think he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, but he got a ring.
I don't think he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's in Sports Illustrated.
Anywho, with that being said, CK's in the building. What's going on, CK? How we doing, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm just I'm here listening to Larry with his nonsense.
It's facts, though. It's facts.
He's a hater.
It's facts.
I mean, when you get knocked out in the first round, you can hate all you want. That's what you're supposed to do. Hate.
Was I lying though? Was I lying?
Were you hating though? Were you hating though?
Hey, look. You should have picked a better person because you know Reggie Miller did send Ewing home. He did.
Oh, wow. Dude, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, LG? Like, so ESPN2 played that last night. Miller versus the Knicks. That's one of my favorite 30 for 30. It brings up a lot of pain, but it's such a good 30 for 30. It gets me ready for this series. So.
Real talk, that was the 90s Knicks and Pacers series was like some of the best basketball you could watch, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Real talk.
Absolutely. I mean, right next to, like, I would say, Bulls and Pacers were pretty good, but like Knicks and Heat, that was like bitter. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Knicks and Pacers in the 90s was it. That was cool basketball.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about on tonight, man, and I definitely want to let everybody get what they got to get in. before we get cracking, want to send a shout out to me and Villain here, big wrestling fan Zoe Stark. Um, that injury was horrific. I'm not sure if you guys take a look to see it. Whatever, that injury was very, very bad. I also want to give a shout out to her. Speedy recovery before we get cracking there. Coaches in the building. What's going on, Coach? How we doing, sir?
What's going on? Check the new name.
Wow.
Schools and snakes. That's how you feel. That's how you feel, Coach. That's how you feel tonight.
Like, look, man. The Knicks Pacers series, I'm torn because I love both teams. I got my villain. I got friends that root for the Pacers. I'm torn, but in the Western Conference, he was in six. If you know, if you know, like I know, like Sirius know, like Larry know, the Thunder used to be the Sonics.
Sonics.
And
you can't have that.
the Thunder used to be the Sonics. The Sonics were the bane of my existence when I was a child. So guess what? F the Sonics in any iteration, be it in Seattle or now Oklahoma City.
Yeah. What?
T-Wolves in six.
T-Wolves in six.
And they still won't give that team another a franchise back. It's ridiculous.
I think they may do that soon. They got to do that soon.
It's going to be Seattle and Vegas. They're going to do it both at the same time. Seattle and Vegas will be the two teams to where they can keep it an even number. That's what I always thought. So
yeah.
But I think one might be a relocation though. I think.
Yeah, well, that's why they got to come up with three because they taking that team out of Charlotte. They're going to take that.
No. I think that to keep it where it's at is like, look, the NBA cannot allow the Sacramento Kings. I've talked about this, guys. The Sacramento Kings are a money laundering operation. The NBA cannot allow them to do this any longer. So they'll probably just move the operation to Vegas just to keep the SEC off their tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Charlotte, but it could be Sacramento.
Yeah, it'd be much easier for them to money launder, in Vegas.
So you don't think they're going to give two expansion teams rather than relocating?
I do. Chandler seems to think I think it's going to be two expansion teams.
No, I think they're going to bring two expansions. I think it's going to be three total because one is going to be a move from either Sacramento, Charlotte to Seattle, and then they're going to bring in Vegas, and somebody else because I think they want to put. I think they want to put a team in Tennessee. I really do.
Really?
There's already a team in Tennessee.
Memphis.
They got the Memphis Grizzlies, bro.
Memphis.
Well, I'm looking at Portland. Portland. Portland, that area, right, is where the baseball's trying to go, right? Yeah. So that's why I think like Sacramento might, move up to Seattle. That's a possibility, or a little bit east of Las Vegas. But I think Sacramento's time is done. And I mean, honestly, when is the NBA going to admit that? Even though the franchise is well supported by the fans, like Utah's just not a fit. It just ain't a fit.
Well, I mean, the thing is with Utah is like they don't have a decent product now. Like back when Stockton Malone and those knuckleheads were running the joint, Utah was a destination. Like people
even when you had the Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, AK-47 teams, it's just the Jazz stink. That's why
there's nothing else to do in Utah, and they are a draw. That's why that team ain't. That's why that team ain't going.
I mean, they had like 317 sellouts in a row. So it's like I think they have like the NBA record for like consecutive sellouts. It's crazy because there's nothing else to do.
It's like
I've been unfortunate enough to have gone to Salt Lake City before. It's like Ray Jan, have you been to Salt Lake City before? Not a whole lot to do.
No. I went through Utah, but once in my life. I went through the top part of Utah. Beautiful.
In the winter months, you either going skiing or you going to a Jazz game.
Mountain Dew is an alcoholic beverage in Salt Lake City.
Oh my God!
They're not taking that team out of Utah. I think they either put a second team. I think they put a team in Nashville because for some reason the NBA seems to love Nashville.
Well, everybody loves Nashville.
Yeah,
like they about to get a base. They already got a hockey team. They got a football team already. They got MLS team. It's like Nashville's just collecting teams like Thanos, like Infinity Stones. They about to have every major sport because again, now a city where there's lots to do. Nashville, hell of a time. Unlike Salt Lake City, that's boring. Nashville, tell some stories off air about some nights in Nashville.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's going to be free. I think it's going to be a relocation to Nashville. Somebody's going to be put in Seattle. And somebody's going to Vegas.
Man, it'd be funny.
I like the idea of Vegas. I mean, Vegas. I mean, they got the aces out there cooking and whatnot, and so
you got the Raiders, the
Raiders.
He's about to move out.
Yeah, Vegas is one away from having that Finley Gauntlet too.
Yeah.
I'm just over here laughing because we sit up and we talked about money laundering, and me and Steve, we both know about them McDonald's bags showing up in Alabama. It's funny how the NBA don't even look to put a team nowhere near none of that. That's what we talk about.
You don't need to. It's like, why would you put a professional team in Montgomery, Alabama?
Yeah, people in Montgomery don't want to be in Montgomery.
That's what we kept saying about how these young dudes want to go there, dude. Nobody wants to go there, bro. If you ain't playing,
for college, LG, it's everything, and you can't compete with college down there.
Dude, but you can't even put a NBA or NFL franchise nowhere even near there, bro. That's crazy.
Well, no, because think about it. Think about the geography of it. It's like you have this big part of the country where college football is king. So it's like that's just what it is. It's just that's how it's always been. It's like people mess with the Saints a little bit on one side of that region of the country. You got people who are Falcons fans or whatever like that. But but for the large Saturday is the day in that part of the world. We all know that. So it's like the Titans are noise in the background after church for these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care about they want you to think that they care about the Titans. They don't care about the Titans.
Yeah,
but the Vols, they live and breathe with every second of Vols football though. So.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's crazy how you say nobody's relocating the NBA team to Montgomery, Alabama.
yeah.
But just like you guys said, like the Hornets don't work in North Carolina because it's all about college basketball.
Right.
They can care less about NBA. It's about college basketball in the Carolinas.
And it's terrible ownership as well. And they've had terrible ownership the entire time.
Sure, but I mean, like, it's still not even a second-class citizen. Like, we talked about it last week. Look at all the teams in North Carolina for college basketball that have more precedent than the Hornets, right?
Yeah, we did that last week. We kind of like the pecking order of where the Hornets are in North Carolina is very
are better, have more precedence in the Carolinas than the Hornets do, and the Hurricanes haven't even been there as long as the Hornets have.
But they win. They win, right?
I mean, but the Hurricanes have actually been there. I mean, they moved from Hartford a lot longer ago than people think they did. You know what I'm saying? So like they've been there a while.
A Charlotte franchise for a while, but the Hurricanes, I mean, you talking about pecking order sports, they're well above them. And that's Carolina is more important than basketball. Think about that point.
Hell, the Charlotte Knights minor league baseball team sell out every night. So it's like, I mean, the Hornets can't say that.
But when was the last time the Hornets had a good product though?
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Lonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson.
You're going about Larry Johnson.
Big ups to Grandmama, Dale Curry, Muggsy Bogues.
You talk about a conspiracy, dude. How in the hell the Hornets are one of the few teams that never won the lottery? Never.
Yeah, and that's a team that desperately needs.
Well, they needed that. They needed that more
than
any other team. I think they needed that.
They should be up there. They should be in the running with Cleveland. They should have at least 4 number 1 picks by now.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I feel like it's so unfair. Like we talked about it last week. I don't want to rehash it, but while we're cooking, we might as well. It's like Utah, Washington, and Charlotte. The draft is designed to give these teams a chance to get that top pick to rebuild their team. And it's like the fix is in. Like, what does Dallas need with the number 1 pick? Like they do because they lost Luka, but Dallas is an attraction. You can get free agents to come there. Ain't nobody coming to Utah. Like it's just unfair. It's not right.
As much crap as LeBron tried to talk about Houston, bro. The reason why the big 3 went to Miami because none of them wanted to go to Cleveland. Yeah. None of them.
Yeah.
They was like, no, the only way we're going to do this is we go to Miami or go to New York. We are not going to Cleveland. And like, how does the NBA say, you know what, we'll put number 1 picks in Cleveland and not in DC, not in Utah?
Because they're not an attraction site. Like, I mean, literally, you alluded to it at, as you were talking, you talking about Utah. Who wants to go to Utah? Like, who willingly goes to Utah? Who willingly comes to, Washington is an attraction. I give it that.
But as a franchise, is it really attraction?
The franchise not so much. Not so much.
I mean, we're talking. We got to go back on to like the Bullets. You know what I mean? When people
that's what they need to do, bro.
Yeah.
I can pull that. You know what I'm saying? You had George Harrison, Chris
That's
Webber,
when that
Juwan
franchise
Howard.
started to go in the toilet. When they changed the name from the
Man.
Bullets to the Wizards. That's when it all started.
And when C. Webb was like, peace out. Like, you know, and then Juwan Howard was carrying that franchise on one leg for a couple years, and then it just went to crap.
That's
the curse of Gilbert Arenas. That's the curse of Gilbert Arenas. And what's his name? Crittenden.
There's a special right now on Netflix.
Very good special on Netflix.
I just watched it the other day.
The name of it, y'all, is called Shooting Guards. Whoever thought of that name killed it. They deserve a raise of all raises. Shooting Guards. Put the name of that. I was like, that's perfect. Oh, as Anthony Edwards goes back to the locker room, that's great stuff.
Yeah, he wrote his ankle at the end of that quarter.
Low tops.
No, he's out. He's out. Yeah, he's out.
Low tops, man. Low tops.
He's out.
I appreciate. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this.
You heard it here first. Nick Van Exel tried to ride on our coattails.
Shout out to whoever watching our show, man. I appreciate the love, man. Hey, look.
Yeah, man. You can talk business.
Hey, look. Somebody said it here first, man. We said low tops, man. Low tops. If you want to protect your ankles and your Achilles, go back to them Converse high tops.
Hey, ain't gonna hurt you. Ain't gonna hurt you.
Some sponsors, they gonna keep stealing our stuff now.
Dude, look, hey, real talk. While y'all playing around, man, dude. People talk crap about Jordans not being good hooping shoes. Have you ever known Jordan to roll an ankle or blow an Achilles?
I can't ball in Jordans, man.
Dude, they not the best shoes to ball in, bro. But like real talk, like have you ever heard of Jordan like twisting an ankle? Never.
I'm gonna tell you something. Some Jordans that are good to ball in that people don't like because they're not the most fashionable. Like the Jordan 20s. The Jordan 20s are good shoe to hoop.
Oh yeah.
The Jordan 20s is a good hooping shoe. Like some of the Jordans. It's funny. Some of the post career Jordans are actually the best ones to hoop in.
Yes.
But they're all mids to highs, and people were like, I'm like, you better. You saw Kobe, like I said, Kobe went from them lows, and he said, you better give me them elites.
Well, I need ankle too.
Jordan hurt his ankle. What, his second year? Was it his second or third year?
Second year.
And he was wearing low tops, and then from then on, he wore nothing but high tops.
Nope.
Yep. Nah, man. Them KBH, them original those Adidas. No ankle protection at all. You can sprain your ankle just walking down the stairs.
Walking on the street, yeah.
You
walk down the stairs.
Larry Bird and Matt Johnson was falling apart, but they was wearing them Converse, and they had not one ankle and not one Achilles.
Larry had a bad back. His ankles were fine, baby.
Everything he can walk. Hey, he can walk around there. Hey, he couldn't do nothing else. He can walk. Hey,
I don't know why people think it looks so crazy to have these highs on. Like, you know, I have my one pair of Jordans that I bought in my life. My wife made me buy it, and I was like, I don't, because I'm not a sneaker guy. I'm not a sneakerhead like that. But I had the high tops, and like, it's a different feel. It's different.
I'm blown up.
I know you're a sneakerhead. Like, you're addict. Like Raekwon said, I'm an addict for sneakers. Not me. Like, I got the same sneakers I had like 3 years ago. I still got
dude, one of my best.
That's just not how I roll. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, we got some Nike or Adidas execs watching. Hey, make sure y'all send us that sponsor money. But I'm gonna tell you real talk. My favorite hooping shoes is Hyperdunks. Nike Hyperdunks. And they high tops. They are. Dudes start going to these low tops because they feel like they were lighter and they can move more. No, you can get a hyper dunk, which is super light. It's like 12 ounces. It's super light, but it's a high top. And you can still do all the stuff that you normally do, but you lacing it up, you tighten it up so you got more support around your Achilles and your ankles. You'll still roll an ankle if you come down on somebody's foot or something like that, but it don't hurt as bad. But these dudes walk around here with these super low, and they've gotten so low it don't even make no sense. Like Tatum, his shoes are so low they don't even cover even the ball of his foot. Yeah, and it's like you see these guys and they want to, I guess, look fashionable. They want them to look all cool and all this other stuff. But you see them on these non-contacts blowing out Achilles, blowing out, hamstring.
How many of these dudes?
like guys, like how many of these dudes like blow out a tire, like come out of their sneaker during the game? Like it's like once a game. Like you did you ever see that when we were younger? Like coming out.
The thing is though, with the low cut is they're designing these so that people who don't play sports can wear them.
Right.
Because it's a lot more fashionable for me to wear a low cut sneaker, say with some khakis or something on a business casual.
But
Friday.
not to hoop in.
Not to hoop in. No.
No, what I'm saying is that's why everybody's going these low cut, and so these guys, if I'm promoting this shoe, I have to wear it.
But these guys, just like I'm sorry, these guys they sit up and they say because they tape their ankles, but y'all not taping your ankles. Y'all not doing that. Y'all not getting tapes. Like y'all not wearing the braces.
There's a shoe in here because this is like welcome to sneaker talk. There's a shoe. He don't play in them that much, but Zion shoes are good hooping shoes.
Right. You know
but
what?
he just don't play in them a whole lot.
He wear
he don't play in them a whole lot. But
that's what coach is saying. Like, it's not like he's actually on the court to play in them. Like
but they're good. They're good hooping shoes though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we saying it because the playoffs. Look at Tatum. Tatum is out now. He just rolled his ankle, and and shoes are so low. They look almost like
low. I tried a pair of those on a couple weeks ago. Them shoes are I can't rock with it because I was like
Adidas, man. I can't literally Adidas, man.
But guys,
real hoopers don't really mess with Adidas that much, man. I can't do that.
Man, I can't even call it because it's like them T-Mac ones and the T-Mac
T-Mac's career got cut short because he was wearing those Macs. Brandon Roy, T-Mac, all of these guys.
Sure, because he was wearing them T-Mac 2s with some good hooping shoes.
I get it to Steve, man. It was some good hooping shoes. Like I say, dude, I've
been hyper dunks for almost 10, 15 years.
Because T-Mac shoes didn't look good if you tried to wear them with anything else. They only look good when you was hooping. So those were hooping shoes.
Hey, look.
You trying to get a fit off with them T-Macs on? No, sir.
No. People think it's a game, man. And we gonna keep seeing more of these guys blowing out Achilles and blowing out stuff. Even Dame Lillard. Look at how low his shoes is, bro.
This goes back to Sirius start like Adidas. Like look Derrick Rose, Dame Lillard. Like look at all these Adidas guys.
I know that.
Wait a minute. Sirius might be on something.
It's time for Feelers to get back in the game. It's time for them Grand Hill Feelers to come back.
Hey, look.
Those shoes were too heavy. You couldn't really hoop in those. Those old Grand Hills.
Nah.
Why y'all playing around?
I had a pair of Shaqs. You just had a pair of old Reebok Shaq joints.
You might well pour some concrete on your feet with them Shaqs. Good Lord.
Had them old Shaqs.
Hey, while Barry up here with these Knicks on, man, I ain't never heard nobody blowing none of them Starberries. Hey,
I had a pair of Starberries too.
Hey, them Starberries.
I had a pair of Starberries too.
Ewins with his big, like this wide.
Them motherfuckers.
I had a pair of them Ewins.
Hey, look, Strawberry. Hey, look, Stephon Marbury made a king's ransom over there selling them Starberries, bro. Hey, look,
my man got jackets now. Like there was a mall, there was a store in the mall that stole number Starberries. They were like $10.
Dude, he sell more. He sell more Starberries in China than they sell Jordans.
Well, I mean, he's a bigger star in China than he is.
He's a mega star in China.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They made a musical.
Oh, I didn't know about the musical
based on his life.
Yeah.
Like Starberry the musical.
Yeah, he's it in China, man. Like he's Jackie Chan level over there.
It's like him and Yao Ming. It's like they're 1A and 1B. Him and Yao Ming.
Hey,
but you know what shoe was pretty. Good. Now you know what shoe was pretty fresh though. The pennies though.
I love the pennies.
Pennies.
Love pennies.
And I'm not even a foam posit guy, but like,
I love posits.
Like again, not a really functional hooping shoe, but boy, do they look good with a fit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell, I take them pennies, man, and I used to play softball in them.
Oh nah. I used to rock those.
You mess up your shoes like that.
Dude, I mean, if I designate shoes for a sport, bro, they get used, bro. Hey, like them hype. Hey, I got like 4 pair of Hyperdunks. If I went and got mine, hey, serious, you're gonna be like, yep, them hooping shoes, bro. Them hooping shoes.
I got 2 different pair.
That's what they get designated for. And like I say, bro, it's funny that now the theme of these playoffs has all been about injuries, injuries, injuries.
Yeah.
And we seeing it, man. We seeing it that, like I say, think about the Bucks, man. They lost Dame Lillard before the playoffs even started, bro.
Some of them ones ain't fresh.
Yeah, he's
Well, penny joints.
penny joints.
The penny joints.
But yeah, dude, it's crazy how these guys want to look cool and they blowing out Achilles and stuff. Keep
and I
looking
said
cool.
last week though, like it's funny, like all these teams are talking, having injuries, and maybe that's the reason why they're not moving on in the playoffs. And then the team that has logged the most minutes, they're starting 5.
Okay,
You're
you
still
need to
here.
stop talking about that because you keep talking about that, and then everybody's gonna get hurt. And
We talked about that. I talked about that last week. I was like, the Knicks. The Knicks are like, y'all tired? No, man, we ain't tired. We good for this, baby.
You've been in shape. We've been running together
But there's
since
something
January.
load management, though, right? Like honestly, like load management, it does it help you? Like how is load management helping these guys that getting hurt eventually?
It depends on the player. It depends on the player. Like for Kawhi Leonard, it does help because his knees are shot.
Sure.
His knees are shot. Yeah. So for him, but
New Balance,
but specifically, Brandon Roy. If they had load managed Brandon Roy, his career would have lasted long.
A little bit longer, but I mean,
he tried to make a comeback too, and
from the knees down, he was made of paper mache.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's unfortunate, but like that's just what it was.
He may have had maybe 1 or 2 more years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think load management works for certain players, but it shouldn't be an across the board thing.
I mean, load management works for James Harden because he always takes Game 7 off. So.
That's a low blow, man. That's a low blow. Hey, he get you to Game 7. Our dudes don't get you to Game 7.
Yeah, he gets you to Game 7.
What happens in Game 7? That's on you, right? That's on you.
Hey, look, it's
for the Pacers, man.
What did we say last week? What did we say last week about Kenny Atkinson? Kenny Atkinson can get you he can get you into the club. He can get you in the VIP. Can't get you the VIP though.
Look, hey, while you playing around, hey, look, it's been some boys in some Game 7s that ain't got some major beatdowns because Jokic, I don't think Jokic even played the third quarter. I think he came out like
I think it was an avalanche, right?
Yeah.
That was.
They were down by 16, and I thought that they could make a run, and then
it went the other way. Yeah,
it went the other way quick. Like I blinked. I was driving. I turned back to look at my kids, doing my kids, did something, whatever. I'm like, oh damn, they're down 20.
They went from being up 13 to down 16 in about 3 minutes.
In a hurry.
There's been too many blowouts in these playoffs. I'm sorry.
There you go, Chandler. It's been a lot of blowouts. Yeah,
been too many of them.
Yeah.
Well, since we're here talking about the NBA playoffs, man, we do got 2 games, 2 series to talk about, man. We got one going on tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves are in a minute of a dogfight here, man. As this series starts to get moving, man, break this down for me, man. What do you guys see? Can the Timberwolves pull off the upset? Right now, they're shooting ball lights out. Julius Randle has turned back the clock. Obviously, Ant-Man is hurt, but again, this is OKC, the number 1 seed in all the land. How you guys feel about it? Steve, talk to me, man. Where you head at?
So I mean, of course, the new screen name T-Wolves in 6. I mean, that's just where I feel this is going. I hope, but like seriously though, like OKC does this. OKC kind of like they fill a team out just like we got a couple of big boxing fans on the show. It's like this first round they kind of filling it out. They kind of like okay, let's test this power out. Okay, that's a good one. All right. I'm gonna have to watch for that jab. I'm gonna have to watch for this hook and. You see with Anthony Edwards being out now, and it's like it seems like OKC has a way of wearing teams down because they're relentless. They don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, and they're so deep and they're so good defensively to where it's like
he's back.
Yeah. When their shots aren't falling, it's something that I actually like that OKC does. When their shots aren't falling, like unlike some other teams, the Rockets. Where they just like, you know what? Let's just shoot some more. Let's just shoot some more. Let's just shoot some more. Like when the shots aren't falling, OKC is like, okay, we need to use our defense to generate some easy offense. Right. And you can see it right now in this game right now, where it's like OKC, they will eventually wear a team down and use their defense to generate easy offense make teams uncomfortable. And I just think it's going to come down to a Julius Randle, a McDaniels, guys like that, because
DiVincenzo.
Reed.
yeah, Nas Reed. It's gonna come down to those guys stepping up because you know you're gonna get from Ant, you know you're gonna get from Gobert. You know it's gonna be those guys because OKC's one of the things that makes OKC such a great team is like their others, as Shaq like to call them, have been phenomenal the whole series. I mean the
Yeah,
whole like playoffs. Their bench guys, their other rotation guys have been phenomenal, and that has been the difference between OKC and everybody else. And of the Timberwolves, others can play up to that level, then we'll see like I think a really good back and forth series. But yeah, that's one thing. Like I said, I hate to give them credit, but like OKC more than any other team in the league uses their defense to create offense, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
yeah. I feel you, man. This is gonna be an interesting series all the way around. I honestly think as though this has the potential to go 7 because I just don't feel it. Goodness gracious, Julius Randle, what are you on right now? I just don't feel as though any one of these teams have that knockout thing that ended quickly, especially with Ant-Man being who he is, Shea being the preserved MVP of the league. But this Timberwolves team is built kind of different. I kind of like the additions that they made. Get Karl Anthony Towns out of there, bringing in Julius Randle, who's a man possessed right now. The DiVincenzo pickup is huge. What OKC has done throughout the duration of this year, as well as the pieces they have acquired, getting Alex Caruso to come in, buy into a system or whatnot. So I think this is a very evenly matched ball club. I think both coaches know how to kind of bob and weave a little bit. It wouldn't shock me if this thing went the distance. But at the end of the day, like I can't in good conscience pick the OKC Thunder. I just can't.
Nope.
So I am kind of hoping for a T-Wolves win here, but again, if OKC were to win it, I mean they've been the best team in basketball all year, so it is somewhat expected. Villain, talk to me, my guy, man. This series is one that you're probably not interested in as opposed to the next one, but talk to me about how you feel, bro.
I think it is interesting because it's two superstars that are center stage in the future of this league, right? SGA and when is he gonna? Can you guys just give him the MVP? What are we waiting for? Just give it to him.
Why haven't they done that yet?
What? Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we waiting for?
And the one last year.
Ant-Man. Yeah, exactly. And Ant-Man, who is the reluctant face of the league, but clearly the face of the league. I think he's going to be the next guy.
America's dream versus America's nightmare.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like whoa. So
yeah.
But listen, I think to your point, OKC's defense is what's got them to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
They can score. They have a scorer who's phenomenal in SGA, but I think really what their thing is that they're not a great shooting team, but they're a really good defending team. They're the top ranked in a lot of defensive categories, so that's going to be their key. Which I don't know, they're not doing really great right now, at least on Randall. So. But I think the key for the Timberwolves is, well, I think it's like Reed and the other guys that and coach are talking about. I really want to see Rudy Gobert, and I don't mean offensively, but I think he has to dominate inside. Not like from an offensive perspective, but he has the matchup advantage. I think he's a better player than Hartenstein, and I think not that he's more talented than Chet, but I think as a center, I think defensively, obviously he's a better player. So I feel like he needs to be somewhat of an X factor on the court, making his presence known, like maybe on the offensive side, getting that rebound, getting that, second chance bucket for a guy like Randall to clean up, and then making it easier for other guys to get offense, because DiVincenzo gets hot and cold. He's going to miss a lot of shots. Got a rebound, right? So I think that's a key for him. But I do like OKC in this series because I think they had to go through what they went through against the Nuggets, right? I think last year being unceremoniously ousted in the playoffs and then getting that first round dominance, and then going up against a battle tested, even though a little beat up, but a team that's done it, that's been there, right? So I think getting into that series and going 7 games, I think was a good thing for the Thunder. I think they'll be ready. I don't have any ties to the Thunder. I don't have any, stake in the game. I want the Wolves because I think that's a better storyline. I think Randall fits better with Ant-Man, but I think the Thunder can take this. I think it'll go 7.
Hold on, let me back up a second. Did you say that Rudy Gobert was a better 5 or better player than Hartenstein or Chet? Did I hear that correctly?
I think he could on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's a better defender on defense. That's just me.
Mhm.
I think Chet does he never strikes me as a true 5. He's a tall, slender guy. I think he's more of a 4 than a 5, but it's like positionless basketball, right? So I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a better player than Chet. Like I said, I think Chet's a better all-around player, but I don't look at Chet as a true 5.
Yeah. If Chet was 6'7", he'd be a 4, and nobody would even question it.
Yeah,
But, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Right. I can respect it. CK, talk to me, my man. This Western Conference Finals is on the way. Where's your head at with it all, man?
Well, as somebody who's been a closet Sonics fan since they had Johnny, Dennis, and Gus Johnson, go way back, and the Detlef Shrimps. I'm trying to root for Oklahoma.
Definitely Shrimp.
Xavier McDaniel, and you know what I'm saying. And
am I even allowed as a Rockets fan to mention his name?
And Lenny Wilkins as a player and a coach.
As the coach.
And
a coach. All right, but
I'm more of a fan of his work with the Hawks, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of his work with the Hawks, but anyway, it's crazy because Oklahoma City is deeper than Minnesota. They play more defense, but my question comes with the coaches. I don't trust either coach because I've watched both of these coaches throughout the playoffs make rookie coach mistakes, and when I say rookie, they haven't been this far before. You know what I'm saying? So they're cutting their teeth. They're learning. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be there, but they're gonna make mistakes because if you haven't been there, you can't know what to do if you haven't done it yet. It is what it is. For whatever reason, Randall does fit better in Minnesota. And if Minnesota won, it wouldn't bother me because, again, I like the old Minnesota T-Wolves teams too. You know what I'm saying? Kevin McHale coach teams. I like those teams. I lived in Minneapolis. So if either team wins, I'm good. I think it does come down to Rudy, and Rudy is a better center. You know, the funny thing about Gobert is if you watch him in international play, he's a 20 and 10 guy. Yeah. Because his teammates actually believe in him and give him the ball. Over here, his teammates don't believe in him, and he gets the ball, he starts rushing and fumbling and everything else. But if you watch him play internationally, you're like, no, he actually can score.
I've seen that man play in multiple Olympics, and international play, and he goes through periods to your point, CK. Well, he just dominates stuff, and then
and I think it's a different game.
It's a different game. Yeah,
I mean, totally different game. But I mean, this past Olympics, you know what I'm saying, Wemby carried that whole thing.
Yeah, no, they did. Sure, but Gobert is going to be a big factor in this because Chet's body hasn't filled out yet. He's going to put on some more muscle. He's not going to get fat, but he is going to put on some more muscle. If you look at his strength, he can put on some more muscle. But yeah, he's a 4. He's a 3 masquerading as a 4. Let's be honest.
If he was shorter, he would definitely be.
He'd be 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this should be a really good series. Hopefully, I don't want to see anymore. I'm tired of seeing blowouts, bro. I'm tired of seeing 20-point games. I'm tired of it. It should go 7 because all things, if you really look at it, these teams are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
The biggest difference is Oklahoma City is willing to go deeper into their bench than Minnesota is. But to me, that's really the only difference. So I say it goes 7. I think it's a coin toss, but if I have to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Oklahoma City because I think SGA has a little more help than Anthony Edwards does.
I can respect it. Larry, talk to me. Where'd your head at, big dog?
Oh man, I was about to say, man, I actually, I hate to say it as a Rockets fan, but I actually like the Sean Kemp teams, man. I like Sean Kemp, man. Sean Kemp was must see, bro.
Ooh,
Hey, look,
ooh.
I hate to
Yeah,
say
I'm
it, bro.
about to take
Hey,
your rocket
Tomato,
hat.
tomato,
him
tomato,
and
tomato. I'm throwing imaginary
him and
tomatoes
Gary
at
Payton,
you
bro.
right now. Boo.
Dude, if you don't like the cradle dunk, man, hey, look, Sean Kemp used to
Yeah.
put
Can't do
boys
it,
some
bro.
posters,
Can't do
bro.
it.
The
Like
one who lost
Hey,
to
Sam
Oh my God.
Perkins, Sean Kemp, Detlef Shrimp, Hershey Hawkins, Gary
yeah,
Payton
bro.
gave me fits for years.
Yeah, and I get it,
Sam
bro.
Yeah,
Perkins.
Sam
Sam
Perkins,
Perkins.
George
you
Carl,
know they were balling. You know they were
can't
balling.
do
Dude,
it.
and this is one of the reasons why when I hear these dudes talking about, oh man, it's tougher now and this, I'm like, dude, y'all not forgetting, man, the West used to be a gauntlet back then, bro. Them Sonic teams was like 60-win teams, like,
Oh
bro.
yeah, they're scum
No,
cats.
Yeah, bro,
no, they were good. They were good.
it was
Yeah.
no
Hey,
easy
what's
road,
the year they should have went? 95
dude. The
when the
year
Rockets won their second chip. That was a
Yeah, the
really
year
good
that we came from with like the 8th seed and one, bro. That year, dude, the Rockets wasn't the 8 for no reason. It was some real good teams.
Well, the Rockets were the 6th seed, but
But
then
six,
what did the
yes,
what did the Sonics decide to do? They decided to lose to the 8th seed Nuggets.
AC,
That's
yeah.
yep.
that's
Yeah,
that's that's
that's
not
right.
the Rockets' fault.
That
Okay.
was 95.
Hey,
That was 90.
what
No,
Yeah,
was
happened?
it
that's
90?
right. That's
Man,
right.
like I say, it was some good teams. But yeah,
That,
dude,
that was the year. That was the year we beat the Knicks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I'm saying like no,
You ain't no ring.
No, no,
94.
no, no. Knicks was the first
That's one.
championship, so
94
that
was
was
the
that was
94 was the Knicks.
94.
And
Yeah.
94.
That was
95
94.
was the year that the Sonics lost
Yeah,
as a 1 seed that shocked the world.
Yep.
Rest in peace to Kembe
You can't pay
Mutombo.
Matumbo.
Jimmy
Mhm.
Mutombo. Yep,
Mhm.
laying
but
on
you
the
know
floor,
what?
holding the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why y'all saying it? That's like I've seen those spurts of Gobert. Gobert needs to be like Mutombo in that series, bro.
Like
Yes,
like
Dude,
like
yes.
like young
Mutombo.
Matumbo. Young Matumbo can
Get
score
out.
points. People forget about that. Young Matumbo could give you 15, 16
Yeah.
points a night.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
just later in his career he didn't need to. But
Nah,
yeah, yeah.
he could, but he's one of those guys like Gobert. I've seen them dominate a game just from the defensive standpoint.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen games where Gobert's had 7-8 blocks, and dudes was like, "Nah, we're not taking it
We
anymore."
ain't going in there.
Like Gobert has had 20 rebound games, bro. Like he's
Sure.
like I say on the offensive end, people look at him as a liability, but dude has affected games. Like that's when I look at this series, bro. I look at it from the standpoint of I hate to say what ifs, bro, because even Chet affects games. Chet Chet had like 7 blocks the other day too. They had some good games from Chet, and Gobert affects games. And I say that as a Rockets fan because Jabari don't affect no goddamn games.
Dun, dun,
we win without him,
dun.
lose without him. Hey, Chet should have been on the Rockets. Damn it. But yeah, like I say, dude, I'm looking at this series and I look at it from this standpoint. If OKC, and we say this all the time, if they grow the fuck up, because they've been a little bit battle tested, they just need to grow up. They actually have more talent than the Timberwolves. Like Timberwolves have a really good team, but
Yeah.
OKC, dude, it's rare that you run into one of these teams that can literally go 7-8 deep in the playoffs.
Not at this point in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
No, they really was, dude. What's his name? The other Jalen Williams. He played in like the fourth quarter of that 40-point win, and they was like, yeah, he was like, not being played this game, and they rested like 2 other players because they're literally going about 8 deep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they
real
are.
talk. They've been going like 8 deep, and they are literally
Mhm.
they are bludgeoning dudes. Like Steve talking about like boxing, they are bludgeoning you because like you said, when you get into that fourth quarter and that dude's like, oh man, I just played 12 minutes. Man, I had 9 points in 12 minutes. What do you mean you huffing
Mhm.
and puffing? Like, look, man, look, hey, if I get a little tired, I got another dude coming in and out of you. And they I get it, it's gonna come down to some coaching, but when I look at that OKC team, I like I said, I'm like, y'all, it's like the old Sonics. But when I look at OKC, I look at that team from a team that they are deep. They got a lot of interchangeable parts, and I think that might be a little bit too much for Minnesota.
Mhm.
Unless it go nuclear, and let's just keep it real. We got 2 Knicks fans on here. How long do y'all expect Julius to not turn into an old Julius?
Honestly,
Jules,
real talk,
Jules.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. See, I've been expecting Retro Julius to turn into Retro Julius all playoffs, and to his credit, he's been balling
Yeah,
out
he's been balling.
Yeah, he's been playing. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not taking nothing away from him.
Long, so
Yeah, he's been balling, but hey, look, you never know when he's gonna turn back into, you know,
We wait for him to turn back into a pumpkin. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But
because
it's like, I mean, but until
he like Alex Bregman over here. Who knew he could play basketball in May? Like,
right.
For real. Like, who knew Bregman can hit in May? Like, what's going on? Were they drinking some juice or something over here we don't know about? Because Julius would Randall would disappear in the playoffs in a minute. And like I say, I just want to see. I want to see what's gonna happen. Like I said, as the series goes on, I'm gonna put it like this, and I've been in that position before. Yeah, when you get a little bit up in age, yeah, can you hang with these young dudes? Yeah, you can. But you know what? Their recovery ain't the same. And OKC, I think the oldest dude on OKC team is like 26.
Yeah, they
young.
They young.
Yeah, them dudes. Hey, like I say, man, look, hey. And I get it. Minnesota not that old, but Gobert's with like 31, 32 now.
Mike Conley is about as old as me.
Yeah, Mike
Conley's old. Like, Conley brings the average age up of the OKC.
It's gonna be some ice baths over there.
Meanwhile, you got the Jalen's and you got Joe and Lou Dort asking Caruso to take him to the mall and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, man. What we say, they gonna be up playing Call of Duty after the game.
Dressed in the same, going to parties and whatnot.
Yeah, they can't get in the club. Look, they like 20. They can't even buy a drink, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, like real talk, man. Them dudes using one razor. They don't even need a shave. Like, bro, them dudes is for real. They young, so we gonna see if they grow up, man. Like, if they grow up, I don't see it going past 6, but we'll see. Like I say,
I was just talking about this earlier. Toward the end of at the half, OKC tightens up on defense, and they make what could have been 12-point deficit. They got it down to 4 because they started to turn it up a little bit on defense toward the end of that first half. So it's just
running with the turnover late.
But you know what I love about this OKC team, and this is just the old man in me coming out. That's one thing I love about Shea, and I love about this team. We get into this league now, and everybody's like, shoot the three, shoot the three, shoot the three. When they threes aren't falling, they go inside. Like, they literally religiously shoot twos as much as they shoot threes. They religiously work the ball inside, kick it back out, go back inside. They go with whatever is working, and it's hard to beat teams that don't fall into these lulls where they just like Boston. Boston just we're not gonna beat it up. We're gonna keep shooting.
That's why Boston ain't here right now.
Yeah,
Boston ain't here right now.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes these teams they fall into that mode where they just gonna keep on keeping on.
But Larry, Oklahoma City has a lot of players who are either non-American or who weren't 5 stars. So they went to colleges where they had to play fundamentally sound basketball.
Yeah.
You got guys from Gonzaga.
That's a good point.
Tell me about Gonzaga players. Most of them are 3 and 4 stars, but they fundamentally sound. When they come to the league, they know how to play the entire game. They play defense, offense, they rebound. If you look at that roster, outside of Chet Holmgren, tell me a guy that you think was truly a 5-star or that was an American player. And if you look at the other international players games are always fundamentally sound. They're going to shoot.
Now, Shea is an international player, but he's from Canada. So I mean, yeah, he's not from America, but I mean, he's from North America at least. You know,
but he plays fundamentally sound. He plays fundamentally sound.
Does he though? No. Does he though?
What?
Like, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the 2025 version of James Harden.
No, bro, no.
This brother just lives at the free throw line.
But he goes inside when he need to go inside. He shoots the 3 when he need to shoot the 3. He passes when he need to pass. He plays.
Day in his life, bro.
So what?
Yeah, and they play D.
Play defense a day in his life.
I give you that much. I give you
maybe
that.
maybe two times when they got on his belt.
I give you that.
But like I say, that OKC team, dude, it's hard to be the team that earn their stripes on defense, bro. It's hard. It's hard. And
Yeah,
them
because
boys, they be
it's
at
the
it.
opposite of what everybody else is doing.
Yes.
It's refreshing. It's like I said, I tease a lot with them, but as a just a basketball fan and taking my fandom away from it, it's refreshing to see a team like OKC that they set screens, they box out,
Who knew?
Who knew that worked? Who knew that
they
still worked?
Yeah.
Who knew a pick and roll still worked in the league?
Stop it, Larry.
Yeah,
Stop it, Larry.
that's all they run. That's all they
We're
run.
not
Pick
doing
and
this
roll and
tonight.
shoot
We're not
three.
doing this
But
tonight.
SGA wasn't even like you remember the Knicks took Kevin Knox before they took SGA in that
Yeah, that's
draft.
not-
SGA got traded.
You know what I mean?
He got traded, but like he was a throw-in in that trade. He wasn't even a centerpiece in that deal.
But see, he was a throw in, but it's just like I remember in that playoffs before the trade, you could see it. You was like, well, hell, Alec Gill he was the best player on that Clippers team.
Yeah, and then they traded him.
But he was under the radar coming out of Kentucky. He was a 13, 14 point a game kid out of Kentucky. Nobody was thinking about him.
Nope.
He was drafted by the Hornets.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was drafted by the Hornets, or that was their pick.
Yes.
You know
Mhm.
what I
They
mean?
traded away. And they traded
And
away.
they traded it away. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy.
Yeah, but Sam Presti was like, no, that got to be part of that trade.
And underwhelmed.
Because Sam Presti's good at his job. Sam Presti might be
Yeah.
one of the 2 or 3 best GMs. Like we talking historically even.
Yeah.
Like Sam Presti's like he gets it. It's just like he has a way of like mind control with these other GMs. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you injured and old Paul George, and you give me all of your draft picks and your best young player.
Yes.
And they're like, yes,
It's
Sam.
the
Yes.
Miyagi effect.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes,
how you
Sam.
do it.
We'll do it. Yeah.
These are the
don't get
players
us
that
started,
you want.
because
Sam Presti's Jerry West without rings. He's Jerry
Yeah.
West without rings.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I
you
just
know what,
like that
Sam?
bad one because he got
Sam
us.
Presti needs to win a ring pretty
No,
soon.
what I'm
because
saying, he's Jerry West without the rings because
I dig it. I'm with you, and what I'm saying is now it's time for him to win a ring because
it is.
you built Harden, KD, and Westbrook. You had Westbrook
franchise.
Oh, absolutely, and not one ring to show for it, and what maybe one finals appearance.
The
Like,
one finals.
Sam
Yeah.
Presti-
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sam Presti, we all can agree, is one of the better DMs in the league. It's time for him to win. Like,
Yeah, it is.
if anybody has pressure to win off the court for these two teams, it's Sam Presti. He's got to
He
put a win.
he built this one nice. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He built this one nice, bro. Hey,
And the beauty for him is because he's in Oklahoma City, if he were anywhere else, any other market, right? Houston, New York, Boston, you name it, they would have ran him out of town because he ain't won yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because he ain't
but
won.
you know what? But you know what I'm gonna say, CK. This is the thing too, is that because of that market he's in, he has to build that way.
Yes.
He
And
has
he's allowed to
through
build
the draft.
that way.
But he's allowed.
That's
to
the
build
thing, Dylan. He's allowed to build that way.
No,
Because-
but he has to too.
If you went to Houston, we would have ran him out of town. If you would have went to LA, any of the LA school, any of them.
Yeah, but how many
Patience,
times you
patience.
could sit on 4 first-round draft picks and not trade for a star? He
That's
won't
what
do
I'm
it because they're not gonna stay. They're
No
not.
patience.
Yeah, they're not gonna stay there. So
Because
he
look
has
at,
to
look
build
at
the
New,
draft.
look at New York, Larry. Like we had 8 draft picks. We sat on it. How long did we sit on it? For maybe 2, 3 years.
2 years.
That was about it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, all right, we got to put our cards in. We got to start moving.
Yeah.
Like
But
Presti's
you
been
could-
sitting on pits for years.
But you could trade for a
His kids
star.
don't have any
but
first round
the
draft
Knicks-
picks.
The Knicks could trade for a star and he'll sign a long-term deal and stay. Like Cat, you could trade for a Cat and the Cat will stay. But if OKC trade for a star, because they've been needing somebody else to really be the co-star there next to Shaq.
Yeah.
But if they
Yeah,
trade him, they not staying. They'll rental. They'll rental, and
Yeah.
he has to build through the draft and guys that were drafted there because he's not gonna track not one free agent. And think about it. If you was a free agent right now, where would you want to go? To the Lakers or to OKC?
Lakers is LA.
The dude's going to LA because it's the
Yeah.
Lakers.
He could
They're
trade
not
for
going to
Mike
OKC.
Smith, is
But the
young.
better team, if I was like a KD, I'm going back to OKC. That's from a basketball standpoint, it's a younger, deeper team, and I don't have to do as much, and I can just be the old vet who scores, right?
Yeah.
But
Don't put that in Sam Presti's head.
but the more attractive places to do is to go to the Knicks and the Heat and the Lakers. That's where, like you said, that's where these guys go. But if you were a real star and you really wanted to win, you would look at like these OKC teams that are young, deep, full of talented
Indiana,
players.
another
Like
one.
like Indiana,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Indiana,
Because
you can do that.
look at what Unc was alluding to. Giannis is essentially wanting out of Milwaukee.
Mhm.
If he was smart, he would force his way to OKC.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's gonna want to go to the Knicks, or he's gonna want to go to Brooklyn. He's gonna want to go to Brooklyn.
Or Miami
Or Miami.
or
Yeah,
something
man.
like that. Yeah.
No, but he prefers New York. I don't think the Knicks blow it up for him unless it epically fails in this round, right?
I think
And
the
you have a
thing is-
reason to get rid of Cap for him. But he's probably gonna force his way to Brooklyn. And
I think he goes to
if he
Brooklyn.
was smart, he would go to Houston or he would go to OKC. That's where he would go. That's where you should go.
I think the thing with Giannis though, I think he's got his ring. You know what I'm saying? Like now he's in a position where he can be kind of selective, and you know what? I want to play in a big market now. I took the baby market to the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
let me go.
But you could be like,
in New York. You know,
yeah, but you could be like, screw that. I mean, that's just me from a basketball standpoint. I'd be like, screw that. I'm about to go run with these young bulls, give me about 4-5 more rings.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why OKC is so. That's why it's so. I mean, again, it's like there are two other teams in Texas that could make this deal besides the Rockets, and I won't even speak that into existence.
Please no.
But but it's like if I'm Giannis and I'm sitting there, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, do you really want to go to Miami? I mean, yeah, being in Miami is nice, except for when you have to go and play for the team.
Right, yeah.
Being in LA is nice except for when you have to drive down to crypto.com arena and play basketball.
Right.
So like if I'm Giannis, you got the ring already. It's like if anybody in Milwaukee wants to say anything, he can be like, you see that banner up there next to the one that was 50 years ago before I put that one up there? You're welcome. Have a good one. So like from his perspective, again, like Larry said, he got the ring already. So it's like now it's about like he got an MVP, he got the rings, he got like now it's like, man, look,
it's quality of life.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean, why would he not want like good weather most of the time and no state income tax?
Because when you start stacking up multiple rings like that, and I'm just putting it out there. If you look at like OKC and you look at Houston, right? They could literally trade off say a smaller piece of the team, right? Like you know what I'm saying? We could trade off Jabari and be like, hey, look, you got a former number 3 23-year-old, was he 23 or 22? Something like that.
I don't know how old
something like that. Something like that piece, right? Yeah. And we can give you 5 first-round draft picks. We got them. We got them in galore. People forget that Sam Presti's still sitting on like 10 first-round draft picks.
Got so many first-round picks.
The 2029 like NBA draft as of right now, like the first 5 picks belong to the damn Thunder.
Yeah, like he's literally sitting. He could literally make a team an offer and say, you know what? I'll give you one of my lower pieces that I really don't care about, and I'll throw in these 5 first-round draft picks, and I'm still keeping my own. I'm giving you everybody else's. Yeah. I'm giving you everybody else's draft, or I'm giving you the first rounder that I really don't want because I know that they're not going to be worth nothing. But those are 2 teams that are sitting on enough first-round draft picks and I'm gonna say a smaller player, and not even take away from the integral part of that team. And if you're somebody like a Giannis, bro, I'm like, look, bro, I'm gonna go run with these young bulls. I'm about to sit up here and I'm about to retire with 7 championships, and then now y'all can say whatever the hell y'all want to say. And I'm just putting.
I mean, that is the strategic and logical explanation.
That would be the logical thing, but this not how them dudes think.
But like, I'd much rather go kick it in Miami, go LA.
But from a basketball standpoint, Bill, think about it. You could go play with Green and the Shingun and the Easton and a Thompson, and all these dudes are like, what? I think Green is the oldest at like 22.
Jalen's 24, 25.
No, Jalen's not that old yet. Dude, is he? I was just saying, man, Jalen's still young, man. Hey,
I mean, young compared to the majority.
But think about it, bro. Think about it. If you somebody like a Giannis, bro, and you go hook up with these young dudes, bro, and now I ain't got to play as many minutes, and the team ain't relying on me that much. But now I got a 10-year run in me. A lot of these teams ain't got that long of a run in them.
But it's also, you got to be strategic also. Okay, let's look at the Rockets, right?
23.
Let's look at the Rockets.
23.
People still know who Mad Max is because of those championships. All right?
Mm-hmm.
That matters. Winning a championship in Oklahoma City, yeah, okay. Being a one to bring only one there, that kind of cements your legacy. Doing one with the Nets, bro. Listen, Julius Erving is always going to be the first name associated with the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Julius Erving. All right, I don't care what nobody else do. It's going to be Julius Erving and then everybody else. With the Knicks, it's always going to be Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, all those guys. Whoever else wins the championship, if Jalen Brunson wins one, great. But Clyde is still going to be Clyde. Okay, it's still going to be Clyde.
Oh yeah, of course.
If he wins one in Houston, wins one in Oklahoma City, he go. Even the one he won in Milwaukee, Kareem won it first, right? He won the second one.
But what I'm saying is,
bring one to Oklahoma City. You brought the first one, and for whatever reason, winning a championship in Houston rings different. Robert Horry was a legend before he got to the Lakers, bro. He was Big Shot Bob before he got to the Lakers because of those Houston championships. So it really, some franchises, and it's crazy because it's not what you think, but Houston, for whatever reason, when they win, people remember them. They remember the winning. Rudy Tom Janovich, people knew who he was. They knew that name. They could have picked him out of the line, but Rudy Tom Janovich, yeah, guy, Houston Rockets, something or other. You know what I'm saying? It's something with some of these franchises. I think Giannis would be smart to go to Oklahoma City because you win a ring with the Thunder, and that's probably the only one they'll ever win. Bro, you cemented now in the upper, your name now stands till the end of time. Oh, yeah, guy Giannis, he won a thing in Oklahoma City of all places. Who the hell I thought somebody went to Oklahoma City?
Well, come on now, Chandler. Like now, for like again, now let's flip this to where like again, the Knicks is like you see how they're acting after making it to the Eastern Conference
They going
Finals.
silly, bro.
Okay. It's like they're gonna have to call in the National Guard if they make it to the finals, and
Oh my!
God help us if the Knicks find a way to win the championship.
And
You won't hear the end of it for 20 years.
Lady Liberty is in trouble.
Name it all-time Knicks. It's still gonna be Clyde, Pearl, DeBusschere, Frazier, Ewing.
No, like Clyde.
Brunson.
No, I honestly don't think so because the today's fan is too stupid to know. The younger fans are too stupid to know.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
Of
just
their
going to say
history.
that. It was like, yeah.
Like they're already saying that he's one of the greatest Knicks of all time, which is complete bullshit. But I'll never put. Listen, we can have an argument that Brunson could be number 3. We can have that argument, but there's no way in hell I would ever put him ahead of Clyde or Patrick Ewing.
6.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the smart way to think about it. But these young kids, they think that Melo was their greatest Knick until Jalen Brunson came around. Like that's how these young kids.
Hold on.
Melo has some amazing seasons, though.
Listen, I'm out here. Like,
I know, but you got to understand something about it's recency bias, right? Like you got to understand, like you're talking about kids that are 21, 22 and younger. Like
to them, Melo is their GOAT when it comes to the Knicks.
That's the problem. They don't do the. I never saw Clyde Frazier play. I never saw him play in my life. I still know he's the greatest Knick of all time.
Yeah.
I did my research when I was a kid.
They got rid of ESPN Classic. That's how I used to watch a lot of stuff, bro.
Boy,
my brother's in his mid 50s, and like he would the Bernard King, dude. You never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and I'm like, ooh, he was something. Bro. But I still know, like Clyde Frazier, I have respect for the legend. You know what I mean? So, but I want to go back to something real quick. I think Giannis's championship in Milwaukee is more special and more important than Kareem's championship in Milwaukee. For one thing, there was no such thing as a small market back in the 70s, right?
They were all small markets.
They were all basically small markets because the league was so young, and not young, but I mean, at that point, it's not what it is now. Giannis did his time in Milwaukee And and I look at it like this: that Milwaukee embraced him when they drafted him. Nobody knew who this guy was.
No.
He worked. He became a star. He gave them 12 years of basketball and brought him a championship when nobody wanted to go touch Milwaukee. Like you talk about Michael Redd, you talk about Ray Allen,
Vin
and
Baker.
then Vin Baker.
Vin Baker, I remember that.
Big Vin, but outside of that, there was nothing popping in Milwaukee. And Giannis needed Milwaukee. Milwaukee needed Giannis because Giannis wasn't good enough to make it on any other team. So he needed that small market to grow. Yeah. And so that's why I'm not mad at him for wanting, out.
No, it's time. It's time for him to
go. It's time.
Yeah, it is.
But that whole like relationship between Giannis and Milwaukee, that's why I feel like his championship is so much more. I don't want to say important, but it's just more special than Kareem's in the 70s. That's just my opinion.
For me, Kareem's is more special because of Oscar Robertson.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Without Kareem, Oscar never gets a ring.
Okay, so he's got one.
Right. So and that's but I see what you're saying though, because you're right. Because a African kid from Greece, okay, a small fishing village in Greece, wound up in a small town in America that fit his mentality and his personality perfectly. He could walk around Milwaukee, bro, and just blend in. Everybody ain't 1,000 people now. Even now, he still can walk around Milwaukee. People ain't really bothering him. They let him live his life. You know what I'm saying? People ain't outside his home. That ain't happening in New York.
No, it's not happening in Atlanta, Chicago, or any big city with like that. It's funny, like to go back to the kids, like they don't like. I remember when I was young, literally just reading the sports almanac. Just literally getting the sports almanac and just going back and just reading throughout, like oh yeah, Jerry West averaged 31 points a game in the 71 season. I just remember going back, and these kids don't do, in the words of my man, do the knowledge.
Do the knowledge.
Do the knowledge.
Yeah.
Kid, it's just it's like I see people again, these kids, they're 20, 21 years old. It's like to them, Melo is their GOAT, and it's like Brunson is like these. They don't know who Derek Harper is. They don't.
I remember, Coach, my grandmother, God rest her soul, knew I was a baseball fan. About 8, 9 years old, and I started to play. That's when I first started to play Little League. As a gift, she gave me a baseball almanac, like a big, thick, thick almanac of records. And I used to read through it, and I'd be like, "Okay, that's how I knew stats. That's how I knew,
Digest."
Yeah, exactly. That's how I knew like the last person to hit over 400 was Ted Williams, and it was 406. And I knew, the home run record for a season was 61, and it was in 1961. And I knew that Mickey Mantle was right behind him with 54 in that same season. Ooh, that was crazy. And then you see a movie about it, and it just comes to life, right? But I knew I did the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids don't do that, man. Like, come on, man.
That's the sad part about sports general right now, which I know we'll get to this other thing in a minute, but it's we've become, and I say we because I'm part of this damn whatever it is, so invested in I gotta say something right now, and what I saw right now has to be the greatest thing ever because what happened 5 minutes ago should no longer matter, and it's the most ridiculous mindset. It's ridiculous because how can this be the greatest if you don't know anything about the past?
Yeah. Because a couple years ago, the kid from Kansas State had that amazing game in the Garden. The kid from Kansas State had just and it's like, is this the greatest game in Madison Square Garden history? It's like, no, not even top 10. Not even top 10.
Y'all gotta remember,
they could have a hell of a game. Not even top 10 game in the Garden. But it's like everybody was caught up in the moment. It's like, just enjoy what this kid is doing. This kid had a hell of a game. Don't be like, oh, is this better? Is this the best game? No, it wasn't. Not even top 10.
Dude, it's dudes that sit up here right now, and this is the part that be pissing me off. And I'm probably gonna agree with me, dude. It's dudes that sit up here and they be like, oh, Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game never happened. Shaq said he actually saw the film. He said he saw some of the film. Like, dudes would literally argue down and be like, that ain't never happened. Like, Dudes sit up here. This is the part that get me with some of this recency bias stuff, right? The part that pisses me off the most is like, do y'all not know that they tried to talk 51-year-old Wilt Chamberlain out of retirement? This dude literally was. I've saw the clips of his vertical. This dude could literally touch the top of the backboard. Like people don't realize what it's like to play against a 7'1" guy with like a 59-inch vertical.
He was an Olympic high hurdler at
Yes.
7 feet tall.
Yes.
Yep.
The dude could literally dunk free throws. And you trying to tell me that if he played today, oh, he wouldn't be nothing. He would just be an average. No. Stop. Wait a minute. Like,
I mean, he was the literal definition of world-class athlete.
World-class
Because
athlete,
he's
yeah.
an Olympic
World-class.
athlete.
World class.
Right.
The only reason why he don't have the rings because he played against better teams. His teams wasn't as good.
And he had a coach who literally sabotaged a game 7. Dan Bredikoff, game 7 of the finals, benched him to prove a point.
But like I say, dudes will argue down and be like, oh, it never happened. Oh, it didn't exist. I'm like, man, that dude still own like 80 NBA records, bro.
Yeah.
It'll never be broken.
You know what, Larry? I gotta say this though. It's like we have footage of Jack Johnson fighting.
Right.
Okay. Jack Johnson, who was fighting in 1935 and stuff like that. We got black and white reels of Jack Johnson fighting, but we don't have a single clip of Will Chamberlain's 100-point game.
I think it's because
so
the NBA.
Put me in that conspiracy because it's like, why? Look,
I think the NBA just don't want to. They don't want to release it. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Somebody's got
I done seen footage of Henry Ford driving a Model T. Yet there is no footage of Will Chamberlain's 100-point game.
Yeah, bro, but I mean, back the NBA wasn't, they
I mean,
had
but
a lot of TV.
like,
TV.
But if you look back, there like the NBA was like tape delay and it was all like choppy. I think that's the reason why they don't want to release it because it's not going to be like full clips. It's going to be choppy, and people gonna think it's edited and all this other stupid stuff.
That game wasn't in an NBA arena.
Hershey.
Yeah.
What I always say?
Gym.
There were actually 8,000 people there, but 100,000 people swear they were there when there was actually only 8,000 people there.
Right, exactly. I was there.
But you know what's the crazy part? What's the even crazier part about that? And this is why I believe it. People question his 100-point game, but Will has 70-point games, 75-point games, 78-point games. Like
101 is off. You can't beat 100.
The 100 is only one of the statistic that he got in that scoring list. Like, dude, like Jordan is up there, Kobe has his 81. There's some dudes that got some, but Will still own like 9 of them 10. Like he up there with a lot of them.
I mean, this guy averaged 50 points for a whole season.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Let's stop it.
He had to put up some.
It's real. I think that it's possible, but guys, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you who it is, Steve, after the show. But I literally got into a whole argument with somebody because they did not believe me about the 40 time. They was like, "Oh man, this guy from played on the Giants. He ran a 4.2 something." I say, nah. You better look up Bo Jackson. 4.12, brother. Hey, and that was the second time. The first time they said it was faster. I'm like, no.
Tell them they better look up Bullet Bob Hayes' time again, world-class sprinter.
Yeah, bro. Like, dudes argue you down, and they was like, even I forgot who's that coach. It was one of the he's like a college coach, one of the big coaches, and he was like, no, they had to go back and get the digital clocks because they thought the real clocks was off because it was lower than the 4.12. Yeah, and they was like, I'm like, yeah. Have you ever seen anybody catch a ball from the back without him slowing down? No. He had to run through the tunnel. But that's how these guys be. But like I said, I'm one of them guys that, like I said, from a pure basketball standpoint, if I was Giannis, man, I would be like, look, bro, I could play another 14 years if I went and go play in OKC. I could leave out of here with another 5 rings. And I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm just saying, think about it. If as young as good as them dudes is, they could win 4 out of the next 12 years.
You know what? I'd like to see him go. It'll never happen.
They could do it.
I would love to see him go to the Wizards because that means they would get rid of Jordan Poole.
Oh, jeez.
But see, the thing about it, I think for Giannis being such a big star, the Wizards don't have the draft capital to give up for him. The Rockets and the Rockets in OKC got the draft capital.
Except for Jordan Poole. We got to get Jordan Poole out of there. But if you look at that team,
Jordan Poole needs to go to China.
Yeah, he does. He needs to go to the moon, bro. He needs to go to the moon.
I mean, but do you really trust Alex Sarr to be with Giannis? Like, he's
actually yes, because Alex Sarr needs an adult. He needs an adult.
I mean, I see his clone every time I turn on the Rockets game. I'm just saying, I see his clone every time.
Okay, and what are we saying about the Rockets? They need an adult.
Look.
I don't know, Unc. I don't know if you noticed or not. There's a show called The Launch Pad. Okay, some talented, handsome brothers do this show called The Launch Pad. All about the Rockets. So just make sure you check that out whenever you get a chance. So like just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Before we get down, the rabbit hole too far, we do got an Eastern Conference game to talk about and discuss.
Do we have to discuss it?
I mean, we
do.
Okay.
This ain't the Rockets. We don't skip topics.
Because I have some feelings about Mr. I like white milk. Grit.
Oh yeah, boy. You know what? Let's talk about the Knicks and the Pacers. I'd rather talk about that then.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't because once y'all go to that topic, I'm out. I ain't talking that shit.
We would talk about RG3 here in a minute.
Yeah, that's my.
You got being bombed on, man. Let's go. Let's talk.
This is my stop, boys. We also talk about that. This is my stop. Y'all have a good one.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out.
We got a repeat of last year's conference finals game between
Eastern
Pacers.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Semifinals, yeah.
Semifinals between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. A series where the New York Knicks kind of fell short due to injury and whatnot. But they came back for round two. Triple H kind of wrote this out earlier in the year, and it's kind of played out this way. I got two Knicks fans in the building. Villain, talk to me, my guy. How do your boys get out of this series with a dub?
I mean, I got the Knicks in 6, and I think it can easily go 7. I think these two teams. Listen, the Pacers are a good basketball team. They have a star in Halliburton. He's kind of risen to the occasion. He had a really good season, and he had a really good series against the Cavs. But their depth, right? It's going to be the Pacers' depth versus the Knicks, big starting 5, right? We all know what happened last year. Listen, the Knicks were up 2-0 and lost that series. Mm-hmm. And, it was because you could say it was because of injuries, but the first 2 games, Halliburton did not look good. He was terrible. And there were games in that series that Halliburton looked terrible. But give the Pacers credit. They came back from 2 down, tied it up. The Knicks were up 3-2 in that series. They were up 3-2 in that series and lost 2 games, especially the last one at home when Hart had the injury. Anunoby was out by then. And then Brunson, tried to play on that ankle and couldn't go. So I think as a Knicks fan and from the Knicks side, you think like, hey, listen, we went 7 games against that team with half a team. I think DiVincenzo was the only guy standing by the end. So, you think the Knicks can pull it off, but don't take the Pacers lightly. The Pacers are a good team. Nembhard, Turner, Siakam is really good, but I like the matchup with Siakam versus OG. OG locked him up before he got hurt in that playoff series last year. If he's healthy and he can do what he did last year, you're talking about something, right? So I listen, I think the Knicks, like I said, I think they can get it in 6. I fully expect them to. That's no shot at the Pacers. I think they're a good team, but I look at the matchup. Like I said, Siakam's a matchup. I think the difference maker has to be Cat. He has to stay on the court. His problem is those stupid fouls. those like the push, like the stupid fouls on defense where you get to cheap one and it gets himself in foul trouble. If he's aggressive like he was in Game 6 against the Celtics, and he stays out of foul trouble, I think the Knicks can take this series. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun series up and down. And these two guys on the screen that you got, Sirius, I think this is going to be a matchup we're talking about for a while. I think these two are going to lock up for a while.
Yeah. CK, talk to me, my guy, man. New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers get started tomorrow around Eastern Conference Finals. What your head up, bro?
Well, I'm gonna need Trae Young to go get that hair system done and shut up talking about whose fans allowed it. First of all, bro.
Yeah, about that.
Shave that nasty beard and do something with them hair plugs that's falling out. But this is a series that either the Knicks are going to lose in 5 or win in 7. Because the thing with the Pacers is they play great at home, not so much on the road. When they play on the road, they look shook half the time. They look confused a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. They look good in the last series on the road.
Well, yeah,
against a half healthy Cavs team.
And by the way, and those road games, Cavaliers had opportunities to win those games and then gave them away. Let's be honest, they gave those games away. If the Knicks don't give away any games, they should win this series. Now, these teams are pretty evenly matched because of the rivalry. I'm going to throw out the fact that the Knicks have home court advantage, because that doesn't matter sometimes when you have two teams that really don't like each other. Then it's just basically a bare knuckle brawl. So I personally think it's going 7. I think the Knicks should win, but it comes down to health. It comes down to health. I need Anunoby to make it through this series without getting hurt, because he gets hurt at the worst possible time. You know what I'm saying? At the worst possible moment, his leg just snaps. You're like, what happened? He sit on the bench, his leg just broke. How the hell his leg break? I don't know.
my man got the shower, man, towards fibula.
OG Anunoby has the weirdest freaking injuries, man. But if everybody stays healthy, the Knicks are a better team. And the one thing that everybody seems to be neglecting when the whole bashing cat thing is, Karl-Anthony Towns always has really good games against the Indiana Pacers. For whatever reason, he brings his A game against the Pacers. Even when he was in Minnesota, he brings his A game against the Pacers. So to me, the Knicks should win this series. I anticipate it going 7 if everybody stays healthy. And you know what? Like I said, I need Trae Young to just go somewhere and do something with that bald ass head he got.
Yeah, where did he come from? Like, dude, you didn't even make the play in, my guy. Get out of here.
They made the play-in. Oh no, they didn't. Yeah, they wasn't playing.
They weren't playing.
No, I mean, like, he didn't make it past the play.
I mean, he played in the joint.
Yeah, man, go shave your head, man. Go get some hymns. All right, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, for real.
Man, you know that transition is always hard.
When
you're like 24, it's hard.
You know what? He's jealous because he's not the villain of the month. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Halliburton's the guy right now. So, you must have forgot about me. I'm the original villain. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we did. We did forget about you.
Yes. Yeah, get some mousse on that one spot on your head, man. Get the hell out of here, man. Pack him up. Pack him up.
I mean, but what should you expect from somebody from Oklahoma? So I mean,
it was
wow. We're looking for the Texas guy.
We don't trust him across that.
But you know what it is? There's nobody on the Pacers that can match up with Cat. Like, I don't think anybody matches up well with him. That's why he goes off. Like, who's the guy that you would want match up? Obi Toppin. He don't really play defense like that. Turner can't hang with him on the perimeter.
They don't really let Obi. They don't really give him any leash.
Yeah, but like Turner can't hang with Cat on the perimeter.
Can't hang with him down low.
Nope. You don't. But you don't want him to. You don't want him to.
But yeah.
At this point, really, matchup. Yeah, that's a matchup that again is like I looked at the series last time and I was like, Miles Turner is going to be a very important key in the Cavs series, and then like health kind of got in the way with everything like that. But once
Yeah.
again, here I am standing before you guys, or sitting, should I say, and like the Miles Turner Cat matchup is going to go a long way toward determining this series
Well,
because
I really think it's the Miles Turner Robinson matchup when
Robinson
he's
matchup,
on
yeah, yeah,
when Robinson's on the court,
mhm,
how that's going to work out. But go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you
Mhm.
off.
Oh no, that's actually a great point because it's just like, how can I say this? Like, the Pacers bigs don't really play like true bigs.
Right.
And I think that's more so for the Pacers style of play. Like I said it
Mm-hmm.
last week,
Up and down.
the Pacers are like 1, 2, 3, let's run up and down the court,
Mhm.
and that's how they play. And it's that versus the Knicks who want to just lean on you, grind on you. Like we will score points with you, but we prefer not to. We can light it up, but we prefer not to. The Pacers are just like go, 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 points
Mhm.
for points. First one to 120 wins. Let's go, 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 go. And I can't wait for this series
It's
because
gonna be a good one.
it's going to be a good one. I give the slight edge to the Knicks just because it's funny how it's like we're making fun of Tibbs and we're making like, why are you playing? Why are these boys playing 40 minutes a night in the middle of January versus the Hornets? It's for now. Now is why they do that. At least in Tibbs' mind, to where like now they're battle tested, they're ready, they're not going to get tired. They
Yeah.
they are ready for this. And the Pacers like style of play, can they wear down the Knicks?
Mhm.
Because again, like it's one of those things where like what weighs out. It's just this is a fantastic matchup. I can't wait, and it's just like I just hope that the National Guard is in place in New York City just in case the Knicks pull this off. So
Yeah, it's
I love it. I
it's
love
gonna
it,
be
man.
interesting.
Game one tomorrow. Like I already told y'all. Like, listen, I know we have a wrestling show. Shout out to the Stacy. Shout out to Aaron and everybody that does the wrestling show with us, Backstage Business. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every other Wednesday. Shameless plug. I ain't gonna be there because I'm gonna be home watching the Knicks. I'll message in if I have to, but bing bong, like the Garden's gonna be rocking.
oh
It's going
man,
to be a lot of fun, and I honestly think just the atmosphere in the Garden is going to lift the Knicks to a game one win, and then you got to go from there. So, and I honestly think that the Pacers will probably get a split, but I agree with like they're not a good road team. They're really not, and they did not play great on the road last year, except for Game 7 when everybody was like on the ER. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, game one's going to be rocking. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's
yeah,
gonna
man.
be
That's
insane
like I
watching
said,
them.
that's a bucket list for me, man. It's like a Knicks playoff game in the Garden. I have to do it. That is on my bucket list. That is near the top of my bucket list, man. It's just like 'cause you can feel it through the TV. I don't even care about
Yeah,
you. You can feel the energy through the television when you're watching it. So it's like, and I always want to go to a Knicks playoff game in the Garden, man. Ugh.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing shakes
I
out. I
don't
do.
have $8,000 for a ticket though. I mean, I don't. But other than that,
You
No.
don't?
no.
What's the
Wow.
average? What's the average price for a ticket for the Eastern
eight
Conference
hundred
Final?
dollars.
$800.
That's
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
lowest.
That's for the
Yeah,
nosebleed.
that's sitting up in the catwalk
That's to
for
get
for,
in
for
the
eight
door.
hundred for $800. Yeah.
What the brother that plays the organ?
Yeah, right, right. Oh my God, it's crazy.
I think this is going to be very interesting. I do think that the New York Knicks come out on top. I just feel as though at this point in time, they are very, very battle tested, is what people have talked about. I think that styles make fights, and I think that the Knicks, the way they play, if all people are available, um, I think the Knicks get this in five. I really do think the Knicks get this in five. And then everybody else spoke about this one before we move.
Oh man,
Larry,
I haven't got in, man. Look,
Talk to me, man. Where's you at?
so I'm gonna go against all of y'all, and I'm going.
Oh, the man
Oh,
going
mm.
Reds with it.
I'm going choke on y'all. I'm going Pacers probably 6, bro. I'm going.
Oh, gee.
get the hell out of here! You're such a hater.
I'm
Such a
going Pacers,
hater.
bro. Hey, dude. And you know why I say that, bro? I like these teams that go deep. I like these teams that the people think that the Pacers don't play deep. Certain players on the Pacers do play deep. And yeah, last year it was a tight series, right? And people talk about the Knicks having Knicks injuries, right? But y'all got to remember the Pacers didn't have Marathon, and Marathon can ball, bro. Like Nimhart plays his butt off. Dude, Toppin has gotten better. Like I really think that you're gonna see a Pacers team that show is the Knicks playing all these minutes gonna help them, or are they gonna run out of gas at some point? Because they are all throttle, no gas, no break, bro. Like real talk.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like
yeah.
they about to get in their car
You know
and
what I
be like,
mean?
look, hey, if we ain't doing 100, man, look, you ain't riding with us, man. Get off of get. They keep their foot on the gas all game long. Like you said, and I've seen Pacers games where they like, you know what, screw that 120, first one to 140. Look, and I also look at it. I look at it from this standpoint too. Who do I trust more? Y'all know who I trust more? The guy with the NBA championship ring.
Oh,
Rick Carlisle has done magic with less, bro. People talk about the Akeem championship and they're like, oh, Akeem won it by himself. I never said Akeem won it by himself. People talk about Dirk won it by himself. Dirk didn't win it by himself, but Dirk won it with
Don't.
yeah,
You need to put up
yeah.
orange and blue skies, man. You need to
Dirk
put up
won
an
it
orange
because
and
of
blue skies.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Dirk won it with a bunch of really good other players on that team, a bunch of really good other players, and that's why I always say. But when you look at it, star power, dude, he had way more star power, bro. But Rick Carlisle, he coached his ass off even when in Dallas when they had teams that nobody expected them to win with. He's actually made it to the playoffs with these Pacers teams that nobody expected him to do. And I have more faith in Rick Carlisle than I do in Tibbs. And that's not saying a lot, but I'm just saying I got more faith that Rick Carlisle can pull the strings, make those little minor adjustments. Then Tibbs don't make adjustments. Tibbs is like playing a dude in Uno, and he only pull out the same card every time. Tibbs only got like green one. That's the only card the only card he won't. Like, dude, it's like, man, he does not make the adjustments that I think that Rick Carlisle will make. And that's why I say I think it's gonna be Pacers. I think it's gonna be Pacers in maybe 5 or 6 games.
My man said Pacers in 5. God.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
like I say
Jeez.
5 or 6, bro, because
Ooh.
I mean, it's different. Think about it. You playing a Boston team that's quote unquote wounded, right? And then now you coming into a team against the Pacers who are like literally like they. If you seen the pace of some of the games that they played, even when they played the Cavs, like them dudes come to play, bro. Like real talk, them dudes are like you want to play 42 minutes tonight? I think you might want to play 38 minutes tonight because yeah, if not, you're gonna be gassed out at the end of this game. And I've never seen where a team that played that many minutes, you put that grind on your players. At some point, is you're gonna run out of gas. I think that eventually the Knicks are gonna run out of gas. I think they will, and I'll go even further. I think that when you put that much wear and tear on your body, you get this deep into the playoffs. Those little lingering injuries, they're gonna start showing up too. Like you said, like the OGs and that ankle on Brunson, man. Look, hey, it's a big difference running on that ankle 32 minutes than playing 48 minutes on that ankle. It's a big difference. And you chasing around these guys, and hey, look, I'm just saying, Barry, that when you disrespect people
Do
like,
you do right by me, Larry?
man, look, when you disrespect the Pacers, bro, you disrespect the Pacers, bro. Look, for real, bro. I think that dude, I'm just being for real.
Everything around you gonna die.
If Rick Carlisle was coaching the Knicks, then I might lean that way more. But I just got more respect for him, dude.
Hey,
I mean,
listen,
like I saw that dude for
we,
like 20 years.
it's funny because we talk about the depth of the Knicks and like how they're not playing a lot of guys, but like honestly, Unc can attest to this. Outside of Robinson, Deuce, and maybe Payne, who do you trust coming off the bench for the Knicks?
Well, he doesn't even get those guys a lot of minutes, and that's the.
But who do you trust coming off the bench? Who do you trust
gotta
coming off
give
the bench
guys
after
minutes to
those three
determine if
guys?
you can trust them.
Precious Achua can play, and he played against the Pacers last year, and he did really well. He gets rebounds. He can score. See, I like the first 10 players on that team because I know they can play. He just doesn't give them a chance to.
So who's 9 and 10? Who's 9 and 10? Precious and who's that?
Precious Achua.
Okay. I mean, do you trust him in a playoff game?
Yes, because I saw Precious last year in the playoffs against the Pacers help the Knicks win 2 games.
Okay.
I literally watched him do it.
Hey,
okay. No, listen, for me, like I like Precious, but he hasn't played a lot. So like
you talking to 3 you talking to 3 Rockets fans over here. We saw Rick Carlisle year in and year out. Man, dude can coach. I can't take nothing away from him. Like, dude can coach.
Carlisle's a choking dog.
Oh,
he got a
come
ring.
on, CK. It's like
he got a ring.
He don't like nobody.
Rick Carlisle was a Boston Celtic. I will run him over with my car.
He ain't got a ring, though.
You don't like nobody.
That's
nice.
great. That's great. It's like the championship coach, choking dog.
He won because of Jason Kidd.
He's
and when
trash.
Jason Kidd left, what has he done since Jason Kidd left?
But
what has anybody done since Jason Kidd left? He retired. What are we talking about?
I mean, but that Mavericks team, you had Dirk, you had Jason Terry,
Jason Terry saved him a lot of games.
Jason Terry,
you had the Matrix.
Stackhouse, Tyson Chandler, like that was again.
Sean Marion,
like that was a really good team.
A lot of coaches could have won with that team. A lot of coaches could have won.
Rick Carlisle did. Rick Carlisle did. Yeah.
So, let's be fair. That Mavericks team beat a lot of good teams on the way.
I'm not denigrating the team. I'm denigrating the coach because he's a Boston Celtic.
All right, so it's that Celtic hate. So listen, I could dig that Celtic hate, but we got to give them a little props. We got.
I ain't giving them. Like I said, if it came down to the 2 coaches, who do you trust more, Rick Carlisle or Tibbs? Tibbs has been known to fumble quite often.
I don't trust either because I can't stand Rick Carlisle and I don't trust Tom Thibodeau.
well, you got to make a choice. Either the dude you don't trust or the dude you don't trust. You got to make a choice.
I trust Rick Brunson Sr.
You smoke crack, don't you? The jump.
Hey, look, like I say, man, you gotta make a choice. I mean, but at the end of the day, like I said, I
understand, bro. The Celtic hate runs deep in my veins, bro. I ain't never giving credit to a Celtic.
Screaming baby versus hydrogen bomb. You know what I'm saying? Which one? You know.
Exactly.
Well, so everybody on here on the panel is right, except for Larry. So that's good.
Hey, I'm going Pacers, bro. Hey, look, I'm going the ghost of Reggie Miller comes back out. And
why you gotta do it? Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta act like that?
I'm just saying, brother.
Why you gotta be like that? What's wrong with you?
Hey, Reggie. Hey, look. I wish Reggie would have got one. They need to like make him like an honorary like special team.
Get the hell out of here! No, there's people that deserve it and people that don't deserve it, and then there's Reggie.
But it's funny because like I remember vividly Dale Davis trying to kill John Starks.
Oh, he wanted to murder that guy.
Yeah, he wanted to awful.
If he would have got his hands on John Starks, he would have murdered him. It's like Knicks pay. It's like, again, we said earlier, due to knowledge, people, of anybody out here, anybody of under a certain age, go back, do what you got, go on YouTube, whatever like that. It's like, this is deeper than Brunson and Halliburton.
Yeah.
There are deep layers to the point to where if Rick Smith see Patrick Ewing somewhere, they might throw hands.
They might throw hands.
You
talking about the Davis brother, the Davis boys versus Oak, like versus Oak and Mason and like, dude. I don't like the Pacers. I don't like them at all, son. Like it was hard for me to root for them against the Lakers when Reggie finally went to the finals. And I was like, and I couldn't bring myself. I hated the Lakers because everybody around here was Lakers fans because of Kobe and Shaq. And then it was the Pacers. They should have got in the year before, but they didn't. Why? Because Larry Johnson 4-point play.
Listen, I would fight for Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson right now. I would fight him.
And
I did not want him to win simply because he was on the Pacers. All right.
Like I do that with that shimmy. I could not stand him.
I had running to Mark Jackson in a Pacer uniform right now, kneecap.
And he was a Knick.
Yeah, he was a Knick.
He was a Knick. That's the crazy thing.
Once a Knick, always a Knick. But he was a Pacer, so F him.
Except when you play for the Pacers.
Exactly. Once a Knick, always a Knick. But he was a Pacer, so F him. Like, I don't like the Pacers, Lord. I don't like them. I don't.
I love it so much.
Don't. It's like, man, like we were talking about Reggie Miller versus the Knicks at 30 for 30. Great 30 for 30. Even with the Garden, when the Garden was Eden. Great 30 for 30 special, right? But watching that Miller versus the Knicks special makes me hate him more. And you know who's doing game one on TNT in the Garden. Who's doing game one?
But Spike gonna be there. Spike gonna be there too.
Spike gonna be there too. But I mean,
every time he came to New York, Reggie Miller needed security, and this was 10 years after he was done playing. He still needed security coming.
He's still not welcome in the Garden. Like we do not like him.
Win game one tomorrow. Let the Pacers mess around and win game one tomorrow. You won't see all choke stuff. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
and what's so funny is that Reggie Miller will go out of his way to tell people how much he hates the Knicks. He will go out of his way. It'd be like, "Hey Reggie, what would you like for lunch?" He was like, "You know what? That goddamn he tried to kill. I was driving to the like he'll go out of his way to let people. I love it. All this time he'll go out of his way to tell people how much
Knicks fans, front runners, coach. Like there's still videos of him to this day.
Right? Like 3 days ago. 3 days ago.
Talking about Knicks fans and front runners. Like, Joe, I don't like Reggie Miller. I don't like him. I don't like his sister. I don't like nothing about them. I don't like Riverside, California. I don't like none of them cats, yo.
But man, you can't even talk, man, because he already said you New York adjacent, man. You can't even talk about things New York.
No, Unc gave me a pass for today because I'm with the Knicks. He gave me a pass.
No, man. No, listen, it's just like like how you had like the DMV. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the tri-state. You know what I'm saying? Barry from the tri-state. So it's like
listen to what I'm telling you. Michael Jordan tormented the Knicks. I hate Reggie Miller way more than I hate Michael Jordan. And Knicks fans will hate Reggie Miller way more than Michael Jordan has stopped us from winning chips. That 93 team was the best Knicks team of the 90s. That 93 team. Am I lying? That 93 team was the best Jordan stopped it. We were up 2-0 on the Bulls. And Jordan came back and said, no. To this day, I hate Reggie Miller more than I hate Michael Jordan. And that's not because I'm a big Michael Jordan. Like as a Knick,
Mike just slit your throat, and Reggie he like drills it in and drills it around.
Yes. Like you know, Jordan is God. Like there's nothing you could do. But Reggie Miller, that punk little skinny
Reggie
dude,
Miller is that kid who kept telling on you in school, and then and then it would throw stuff at you. Then when the teacher comes, he's sitting there like, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what happened. And if you punch him in the face, you're the one wound up in the principal office.
Exactly. And then he's back there smiling.
I always thought it was like this with Knicks fans, and it was like with Jordan, it's like, all right, well, that's Michael Jordan. But then with Reggie Miller, it was like this little skinny, bug-eyed, light skin. What the fuck? Like what? You. Like
there was nothing about his game. His game,
like, bro, your
your
sister's the best basketball player in your family, dog.
Dude,
like think of his game. Think of his game. Jordan would kill you with the mid-range and go bully to the basketball. Reggie Miller had to run around the court, get a bunch of screens, come off screen, and shoot a three. Never go to the hole. He would shoot a three, never dunk on you. Like I think I could count on one. How many
except for that one time he dunked in the Knicks game, and then it was like he dunked.
I could count in my life how many times I see Reggie Miller dunk. But his game was just like bitch, like running around the court. You know what I mean? Like he was just.
Who could shoot? He could shoot.
Y'all got me hot.
He was stuff before stuff was here.
Dude, hey, look, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. When you score 8 points in 3 seconds, bro, that is not easy, bro. Hey,
dude, dude. Don't
hey,
even talk
it's not easy, bro. Hey, I'm just saying, bro.
So
hey,
serious. Let's move on.
Reggie, like I said, that's why Knicks fans don't like Reggie, because Jordan just sliced your throat and leave your jugular there. And Reggie, he was like, nah, I think I want to rub it in a little bit more. I think I want to dissect them. I think I want to pull the heart out and see it beat on my knife.
Oh yeah, it's like, you know what? It's like, I am going to burn your house down. Then I'm going to go across town. I'm going to burn your mom and dad's house down.
And then
Then
call
I'm going
911
to
and be like, call 911.
Then I'm going to drive your car into into the
Yeah,
river. You know what I'm saying?
dude.
And then I'm going to call 911 and say, hey, some dude burned down 2 houses and drove somebody's car on the river. That's what Reggie Miller is.
And by the way, I
That is
couldn't find
Reggie
nowhere to take a piss, so I pissed on the
Yeah.
ashes of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look.
I wouldn't piss on him to put him
man.
out if he was on fire. I wouldn't piss on him to put him out.
Look, Reggie kept the Knicks from winning the championship, and the Knicks kept Reggie from winning the championship. So both of them, they ain't got nothing. But they just beat each other up. But like I said, dude, when it comes down to it, dude, I think that they have a lot of the same players that's going to kind of equal each other out. But I trust Rick Carlisle more. I mean, I get how CK feel about it, but Rick Carlisle he's been known to make, I'm gonna say, better decisions than Tibbs has made.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, so we're about to move on here. We are going to discuss a little bit of what's been going on between, RG3, Ryan Clark. If those you guys want to pop off, so be it. Villain, are you staying or you rolling?
I ain't talking about that. Is not something I want to talk about.
No, you stay.
It's not something that I'm just interested in talking about, honestly. So it's like, I'll let you guys cook, and I might throw something in here or there. But it's like, you guys seem to be really wanting to get after it about this, and me, I don't have it.
Because it's not about RG3 or Ryan Clark. That's not what it's about.
Right.
Exactly. That's because it
I mean,
started,
listen. I'll give it this. Right. The problem with Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese is that it's one-sided, and that's
it's not even about that, Barry. It's not even about that.
That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say.
That's what this all started from.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about, and then I'm leaving. But like, Caitlin Clark can go around and they talk about everything. They don't talk about Angel Reese to her. Everywhere Angel Reese goes, it's about Caitlin Clark. That's the problem I have with this whole dynamic. Like, when it was Magic and Bird, like, you couldn't talk about one without the other. And I feel like it's one-sided. Like, Angel Reese is, like, so vilified because it's like they think she has this hate or something like that. Like, everywhere she goes, they ask her about Caitlin Clark. And, like, Caitlin Clark, everywhere she goes, they ask her about everything else. And then once she's playing the sky, it's, oh, well, what about Angel Reese? That's the problem I have with this whole thing. And I wish it was a rivalry on the court. And I feel like it's everything but on the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my problem. But
I can respect
Bing bong. I love you guys.
All right, boy. I'll let you later.
Stick around, Barry. Stick around, man. Don't go nowhere.
No, I'm out. Bye. I don't want to talk about
this. Here's the thing.
No. Hey, stay for a while, man.
It started over a simple foul that we watch in the NBA all the time, and guys get upset over a foul, a hard take foul, and they do the histrionics. It's called the flagrant, and everybody moves on. Okay? But because it was Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, number one, we had to turn it into something because that's clickbait. That's going to get people in it. We all get that part of it. Mm-hmm. It's wrong, but it is what it is. My issue with this entire thing, and where Mr. Griffin comes in, because I'm not calling him RG. His name is Robert Griffin. Okay? Is he put out something to perpetuate. Now, Angel Reese gets an unprecedented amount of vitriol, hateful vitriol, racist vitriol, hateful vitriol, not just from white males, but from black males as well, in their quest to pump up Caitlin Clark. Why they do it, that's for them to decide. Okay? I see a lot of people punching down at a young black woman. That's what I see. I see people punching down the young black woman instead of trying to protect her. And I'm speaking about black men at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't care about the cake. Whether she likes Caitlin Clark, doesn't like Caitlin Clark, doesn't matter. If we're competitors, we don't have to like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese said in the post-game press, she said, basketball play, ref got it right, let's move on. What was wrong with that statement? Absolutely nothing. She did nothing to inflame the situation. She tried to tamp down the situation. She was a professional about the situation. And now we got people parachuting in like Mr. Griffin, who said she hates Caitlin Clark. That's what he said. Outside of basketball is what he said. Those were his words, which can be checked. Those are his words. Now, you already know that this young black woman is already getting this vitriol, this hate. She's getting death threats. And so you decide to go pour gasoline on the fire. Why? For clicks? For clicks? You think that's you think so little of this young black woman that you would open the door for even more hatred and vitriol for her just so you can get clicks. So Ryan Clark came and said what he said about Robert Griffin, which is basically, apparently you ain't having no discussions about how to protect black women in your household because both of the women you married are white, and you make a habit when you talk about your white wife of describing her as white. I have friends who have wives who are not black. You know the one thing they never say when they talk about their wife? They don't say my white wife. They don't ever say that.
No.
I have a lot of friends who are in mixed racial, man, I forget the terminology, but you understand what I'm saying.
Interracial, yeah.
Interracial, yeah.
They never describe their wife by their race. Ever. Okay? Robert Griffin, and again, this is all factual. You can do the research. Whenever he talks about his wife, he says, oh, look at, I like that white milk. Oh, look at my white wife. My white wife this, my white wife that, my white wife this. So when Ryan Clark said to him, bro, you're the one who keeps bringing race into this. Now there's a problem. At the end of the day, this, for me, this is about the fact that I got a young black woman. And it's about black women in general. When we have black males with a platform who insist on punching down on black women, who insist on not protecting black women, who insist on vilifying black women to justify the fact that I don't care who you sleep with. You can sleep with a pink polka dotted Martian with an antenna coming out the rib and an eye on top of their head. I don't give a damn as long as they have legal consenting age. Okay? That doesn't mean you got to denigrate and put down the women of your race so that you can feel better about yourself. And that's my problem with what Robert Griffin did. Because he's perpetuating something and he's inflaming a situation that didn't need to be inflamed. And as a black man, knowing what black women have to go through on a daily basis, the stuff they have to put up with, the crap they got to put up with in their own community and outside their community, for him to say what he said, miss me with that. He deserves every bit of slander he's getting. And the fact that because he likes to talk about his white wife and somebody brought it up, bro, crossed the line. Bro, you crossed the line years ago, back at Baylor. Okay? Because I'll go back to disliking Robert Griffin when he going back to Baylor. And some of the stuff that he defended there. The Kim Mulkey stuff he defended there. Okay? The Art Briles stuff he defended there. So for me, this thing with him and Ryan Clark is an opportunity to talk about the fact that maybe we as black men, especially those with a platform, maybe we need to do a better job of protecting our black women, of at least not punching down on them. If you ain't got nothing good to say, shut the hell up at the end of the day. But Robert Griffin, he needs to get hit by a bus.
So I echo a lot of what you just said, CK. And the thing that bothered me about this whole song and dance was that he made it appear as though it was just about a basketball take. Like he was just on his own platform and he made a basketball take and he played the victim so incredibly well. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't catch it live. I'm scrolling through TikTok and social media, and I see the rebuttal to what Ryan Clark had to say. So I'm like, yo, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm not seeing it. I mean, RG3 doesn't pop up on my feed as often as others do. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back and I do the research, and that's when I hit you guys. I was like, yo, did you guys following this? For Robert Griffin III to take this type of stance is disrespectful. It's literally disrespectful because you can't be the victim of a situation that you created. Okay. Not one time did Ryan Clark disrespect you, disrespect your lady, talk about your kids, nothing like that at all. As a matter of fact, in the piece that Ryan Clark said, he said he had a conversation with your lady. You know, he said that you're more that he feels that she's more than just a white a white woman. And so for Robert Griffin to take this approach, I think to your point, CK, it's about clicks. It's about, woe is me. It's about let me capitalize and subsequently monetize off of getting caught out. Because that's essentially what Ryan Clark did. This stopped being about basketball the moment he turned on his recorder. This stopped being about basketball and making a basketball take the moment that he had his lady in the background, clapping and, going off to punch down on injuries. Now, let's keep it a buck. I'm not going to sit here and play and be like I am an injuries fan. I think she is horrible at the game of basketball. I think that she needs to spend some time in the gym and develop a craft for as much as she talks and this, that, and the third. But I will never disrespect a sister to this level. I will never disrespect anybody who is trying to better themselves and better their career. Again, I wish this was about two great players going on the court. I'm a competitor. It's not about that. And every time that these two teams get together, that's what it's going to be about. I mean, go back to LSU versus Iowa when injuries did the whole ring thing and all of that. That's when this whole thing started. And they know how to publicly say the right things. Was it a basketball play? Heck yeah. But we're not talking about, is the play before that where injuries pushed their teammate and got the rebound. And so, again, it's a basketball play. I'm not saying that injuries did anything dirty, this, that, and the third, but we can't sit here and punch down on our sisters and try to paint one against the other when both ladies are competitors. Both ladies are trying to do their thing and help their team win, but it's not a racial thing. And I hate the fact that RG3, who is in an interracial situation, decided to make it that. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was married to a Caucasian woman. My entire dating has been with Caucasian women. I have a mom, sister. I have a sister who's sister. I have friends. I have other sisters that are in my life, aunties and uncles in them that I hear from. Not once did this ever cross my mind, and I'm angry at the fact that RG3 felt as though it was appropriate to take this tone. I felt as though RG3, I thought it was inappropriate for him to, bring light to the fact that his wife is Caucasian. Super Saiyan milk and doctors say breast milk is the best milk and cookies and milk and milk. Listen, bro, be into your wife. I got you. Do you? But the milk thing has nothing to do with other than the fact that this woman that you're marrying as a Caucasian woman. Not never. And I've been messing around with I call them snow bunnies. I've been messing around with white girls my entire life. Not one time that this is my milk girl. The milk's here. Not never. Oh, that's my take on it. Larry, you want to say something? Are you done with it?
Dude, you know what? Dude, so this has been my thing, bro. Dude. It's always a cause and a reaction, right? So, like you said, people watch the play. I'm always a fan. Like, go back and watch the tape. Go back and see what really happened. Like Angel Reese, she pushed her teammate in the back. I was actually more happy that this time, instead of seeing Caitlin Clark laying on the ground and people was like looking at her like, get up, her teammates actually defended her after she hard fouled Angel Reese. Like, this is basketball. That's what it is, right? And I'm not gonna take the standpoint, like I'm not trying to pound on Angel Reese, because Angel Reese, she obviously hired a publicist, because if you notice her comments after the game this year was not like they were last year. Right. Last year she did do a lot of things to herself that were harmful in the media. She made it about her and Caitlin Clark and not about the game. This year she kept it at basketball. Keep it at basketball, right? But I'm gonna go here, and y'all gonna think I'm going left with this, right? Have you ever noticed that it's not the people that love the sport who make it about black and white? It's the other people. It's the other people, right?
Yeah,
dude.
That's my point. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dude, and CK, I know you don't like Boston, dude. But what's Larry Bird's one of his favorite lines? It's disrespectful to put a white guy on me. Yeah. He never made it really about race. It was never about that with him. He said he didn't, because if you know the history behind Larry Bird, he really honed his game playing pickup ball when he was working at the grocery store or something like that. He would play pickup ball with the black dudes. That's how he learned how to talk crap. Well, talk shit, right? Yeah. And he looked at it like, no, put somebody on me that's more athletic. Put somebody on me that can guard me, right? But it was never in the media that he made it about black and white, right? Yeah, I know me. Me and CK, we boxing fans, bro. Dude, go watch the Great White Hype. It's really true. Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. Yep. Jerry Cooney ain't stand a chance in the fucking world, bro. But that's like anytime there's ever been a black boxer versus a white boxer, people always make it about race, not about skill, not about who is better with the jab, nothing like that. It's always comes down to race versus the sport. That's the part that really pisses me off, because RG3, you could have left it at basketball. You interjected race into it, just like all these other people that look at race versus who's the better basketball player? Who made the right move? Who hit the clutch shot? You know, like, you actually took away from the actual game. And now, because this is blown up so much, and women's basketball is at this point now where they trying to get a piece of this market share. They really are. And because you two guys got two really big platforms, y'all could have made it about the game. Y'all could have made it about the play. Y'all could have made the fact that, you know, and I'm not on either one side, but you could have made the fact that now her teammates did stick up for her. You know, whether before, remember, that was the whole problem. Everybody watched her on the ground, and not even one of her teammates came to help her up. But this time, you could have made it about Caitlin has a better team. You could have made it about, you know, have you seen improvement in Angel's game? They got Cardoza back. You know, you could have made it about the game, but you had to interject race into it, just like any other sport. People feel like they must interject race into a sport. Well, I always look at it from the standpoint of who's the better athlete, who made the right play, who did this, who did that. You know, we talk about, you know, even in the NFL, people always make it about a black quarterback. I just can't never be about the damn quarterback. Did the quarterback win? Did the quarterback do what he's supposed to do?
Did he make the play he needed to make?
No, but people are so quick to interject that, and they're like, oh, well, they don't get a black quarterback a chance. Oh, well, you know, if he was white, he would be doing this. Like, you know, we haven't even gotten into it. Like, bro, like, we talked about Shador. Dude, we badly talked about it. But if Shador was white, do Shador foul?
Nope.
No, but people will quickly interject that into, well, he this, stuff like that. That's the part that pisses me off is when people interject these things into a sport, and I'm just one of those periods that I believe that leave sport at sport, right? Leave sport at between this athlete and that athlete, or this team versus this team, and now you've got two dudes, and I don't defend RG3. He was he instigated it. Ryan Clark threw a little fuel on the fire, hey, look, and got it going even more, but I'm a dude that I believe that, man, look, is these type of assholes that make it into more than what it should be about. And I get it. Ryan, yeah, grill his ass, bro. Grill his ass because he was the one that did that. But at the end of the day, that's RG. You not only is being no more. So hey, get your clown ass on where you gonna be at, bro. Hey, you miss me like Steve? No, Baylor. Man, I don't fool with no dude. Baylor.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't fool with no dude. Look, hey, that's like fooling with a dude from Texas Tech. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a certain type of brother that go to Baylor, and
Yeah.
RG3 is one of them. But I'll say my piece. Like I said, I don't really have a lot to say about this, but I'll just since I'm here, I don't got nowhere to go. This game's over. Whatever. I guess I'll
Hey,
just
what
yeah, yeah,
what I
yeah,
say
yeah.
about OKC?
Mm-hmm.
Turn quick. It turned quick, bro.
Yeah,
Well, what
I
did I
believe.
say? I like they use their defense to generate offense, and then now they're up by almost 20 points. So I mean, that's
Yeah,
here's another not close playoff game. CK,
yeah.
um, look,
If Giannis was on that team, they would be up 30.
yeah. So let's bring this back to the beginning. Okay, it's like when this happened over the weekend, I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was like, I'm going to sit down with my grandchildren. They're gonna be like, Pap, why do we live on one side of town and the other people live on the other side of town? And I'm like, well, it all started with a basketball game in Indianapolis one day,
Mm-hmm.
and then things just went down from there. It's like sports and race are intertwined. They always have been, always will be. That's something that we can't avoid. Because this is why Jackie Robinson is why maybe we'll all wear 42 tomorrow. This is something that's happened. It's the reason why the Harlem Globetrotters exist.
Yep.
They couldn't play with the white people, so they had to go
Watch
around and
Black
like
Magic. I always
it's
tell
like
people watch
there's
Black
a reason
Magic.
why it's things where it's like this has always been a thing. It's like we were talking about like the Southeast earlier with college football. It's like it's like like Bear Bryant, like the SEC. They existed for a while before they had let black people play football in the SEC. So sports and race is something that just why it's always icky. It's something that always kind of intertwines because it's just like you said with the great white hype and Larry Bird's comments and stuff like that. And you know what, guys? I don't think Angel Reese likes Caitlin Clark, but she doesn't have to. They're
Mm-hmm.
competitors. They're rivals. It's like I don't think it takes away from the fact that they're both really good basketball players. It's like, yeah, Angel Reese probably don't like that girl. Caitlin Clark probably don't like Angel Reese. Fine. But I don't think Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark because she's white. I don't think Caitlin Clark doesn't like Angel. What I'm saying? I don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
like racism. It's just they don't like each other.
Right.
It's like I don't like the dude who lives around the corner from me. Not because he's white. It's because he leave his trash can out in the middle of the street, and I hit it on trash day all the time. That's why I don't
Hey,
like him. I don't care
you
what he
Mm-hmm.
striking
look
the
like.
nerve, Steve. You striking the
You, you,
nerve.
you know, that's why I don't like that motherfucker because he leaves his trash can in the middle of the street. You know, but like guys, the Indiana Fever won that basketball game pretty
Right.
handily.
That
Yeah.
was
Um,
beating.
Caitlin Clark had a triple double.
Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
nobody's
Um,
talking about it.
Never talking about.
Angel Reese had like 14 and 17 rebounds.
Hmm.
But there sellout crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you know, there are a lot of things to talk about with this game on the court. But like I said, as soon as Angel Reese hit the floor, I was like, well, here we go.
Mm.
No matter what happens in this game, a giraffe could have came out in the middle of the court and start breakdancing, and nobody would have talked about it.
I'm in the cat.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody would have cared because after that moment, I was like, well. and it's funny. I just said I was like, well, this isn't going to be just about basketball anymore.
Nope.
We're gonna get so far away from basketball with
Mhm.
this now
And
because
look where we're at
and,
now.
and look where we are now. It's like now it is RG3 and Ryan Clark taking personal shots at each other, going back and forth, questioning who you with, who you sleep with, who you doing this, whatever like that, what you like, what you don't like, who you protecting, who you not protecting, all this stuff like that. And it's like we've gotten so far from the actual basketball game because now it's getting personal. Now it's like this. And look, and I'll say this, and I've never said this like publicly because it's like not everything should be said publicly. But I feel like this is a good time to say this. It's like who cares about anybody's preference? I don't care. Okay.
Exactly.
I don't understand why people get into this stuff like that. It's like you said, if you want to go home to a Martian with purple, like I don't care. It's
Yeah.
like, but what's weird is when you go out of your way to let people know, like this is my preference.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like Hubert Davis with his, I love my white wife. You know what I'm saying? I love,
Yes.
stuff like that. That's
Mhm.
strange. It's like I can see. It's like I have the ability to see. I can see that your wife is white. You don't have to go out of your way and be like, you see my wife? Look how white she is. The blonde hair, the blue eyes. Look at
Steve,
this. Look at this Aryan specimen of a woman here. Like, no, you don't. I don't need all that, dog.
Steve, you know what? Hey Steve, I'm gonna piggyback on what you say, dude. Like, if you ever hear me say anything about my homeboys, I'm gonna be like, hey, my homeboy this, hey, my boy this, hey, my boy that. You know, dude, I literally I had a 40th birthday party. People was like, oh, I didn't know he had a Asian friend and a Hispanic friend. I don't refer them as my Asian friend. I don't refer them as my white friend. They my homeboy. They my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
And that's
That's
just
it.
what it is, bro.
Yeah,
That's it.
Like, dude, I don't refer to people like that. If you got to go out of your way to say this is my black friend, then
yeah.
You
that's
got
a
a problem.
problem to me, bro. Like,
You got a
dude,
problem.
like I don't. You don't have to
Exactly.
refer.
Like
We cool or we not.
it's ridiculous to me. Like I
We
said, it's
cool or we
just
not.
like
And
we get too caught up in this to where it's like, man, it's like do you really love this woman or is it like a fetish? Or you're
Mm.
fetishizing your wife is like, look at me, look at me. I'm black and look, I'm big black athlete, man, and look at my beautiful wife. It's like who cares?
Latrell,
You know what I'm
Latrell,
saying? Yeah, yeah.
Latrell,
It's like,
bro. Look,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
hey,
It's
hey,
like
look,
nobody, like nobody cares, dog. Like I do
dude.
not care. I don't. I never have, never will. That's not how I was raised. That's not how I'm raising my kids. It's
Mhm.
like I don't care what you do, who you do it with. And too many times we bring this shit up when it's not necessary because there was a basketball game that was played on Saturday that nobody's fucking talking about.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
hey, look,
Yep.
I'll quote the great Jay-Z, what you eat don't make me shit. And I
There
Mhm.
you
love
go.
that. I love that statement, dude. And a lot of people need to get on that, bro, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of starting with Steve. And y'all know how I feel about women's basketball.
Mhm.
I look at women's basketball for women's basketball. I don't compare it to men, right? I look at it for what it is. You know, people are like, oh, but they don't dunk and they're not supposed to. Do they women, bro? They can barely jump 3 feet, bro. Dude, like let them they're not playing on 8 foot goal. They playing on 10 foot goal. Like I look at it for what it is.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
I hate, like I said, I hate the fact that now people are making it about, oh, them not, race and all this other stuff. I'm gonna go even further, Steve. They probably hate each other. They probably don't like each other. They probably like,
Like I said, yeah, they
they
probably do not like
competitive.
each other, but
They
it's not because
competitive.
of the shade of their skin, though. It's because
No.
they're competitors and they've been going
Yeah,
at it since in college, and this
Yes.
rivalry
yeah.
has
I lost the
carried
damn
on over to the
championship.
WNBA.
I
So it's
lost the
like it's not
championship to
about
her.
that.
We are not gonna be boys if I lost the championship to you, bro. Like, dude, real talk. We could have grew up together, and I'm gonna be like, man, fuck Steve. I lost the goddamn championship to him.
Yeah,
I don't like that motherfucker, and that's what it's gonna be. But I'm gonna go even further. These men need to fucking look at these women, bro. I'm tired of these NBA dudes and these NFL dudes. We doing jersey swaps and shit. Man, fuck that. Man, we competitors, bro. Like, dude, real talk, bro. Like, I like the fact that now we got heated. Dude, I'm gonna put it like this, right? And I get it. It's different. I'm tired of these studio fake gangsters and these NBAs and all this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get in each other's face and we're gonna man bump each other and we're gonna, dude, they not throwing no punches. They put all this show on for the cameras, and then you'll see them in the club that night and be like, oh man, dap me up, man.
yeah,
Oh man, we popping bottles together, and You know, they're too friendly. They too friendly, and I don't
Yeah,
like.
but I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go left from this because it's like I'm just like, and this is something else that like I've said probably, but I'm gonna say publicly. It's like Caitlin Clark is the great white hope. There are people who don't watch women's basketball, but they see the Midwestern white woman lighting it up, and then they're like, you know what? Maybe I should start watching this basketball.
Yes.
And it's disgusting. It's disgusting to me. Because it's just what happens is I don't think Caitlin Clark is racist, okay? But some of these people are using her to prop up their racist
Yes.
propaganda.
Yes.
Okay,
Ooh.
and that is trash. And on the other side, okay, don't agree
Same
with me too
thing.
yet.
It's the
Because
same
on the
thing.
other side, you got people who are using Angel Reese to prop up their
Yes.
like Dr. Umar ass fucking takes and shit like that. And it's
Yep.
so it's like again, like I said, it's like you have people over here who are like, again, I'm sure Kayla Clark isn't racist, but you got these racist motherfuckers who are using her as a lightning rod to let out
Further
their
their
racism.
agenda.
You know
Further
what
their
I'm saying?
agenda.
For their agenda. And like I said, and that's not fair to Caitlin Clark. And on the other side, it's not fair to Angel Reese.
No.
Because like I said, RG3 and Ryan Clark need to meet somewhere and squabble because this ain't been about those two young ladies in a while.
And
Wow.
that's the
Dude,
whole problem with that, and that was my whole problem with this entire thing is they took this somewhere and never there was already going to be enough nonsense directed at both of them, okay, over that play. There was already going to be enough hatred, vitriol, racist threats, all that. The WNBA is already investigating half the fans in the damn arena, okay? And now we got people parachuting in to turn this into even a worse situation. Why? Why?
Dude, and meanwhile, this is the part that pisses me off because, like we all know, the NBA was NBA. Then Michael Jordan took it to that next level. Like we said, Caitlin Clark, to me, she's like that. I don't care if Caitlin Clark was, like you said, a purple unicorn. The girl can shoot threes from like half court. The girl, like you say, she literally dropped a triple double. The girl is setting some records over there. So it's like she's like the Jordan that let these women ride her and bring they whole league up to where now they can be making money. And like you say, it's a lot of Isaiah Thomases out there that don't like Jordan, but Isaiah cashed a lot of checks on Michael Jordan. I'm gonna be real with you.
Rivalry helped grow the game. This rivalry is growing the game.
Let's grow the game.
We just
It had 2.8 million views on Saturday. 2.8 million people tuned in to watch this game. Not because anything else, but because these two ladies.
Dude, in real talk, dude, Steve, man, this is the thing about it. Last year, like I said, some of the comments Angel Reese was making, it made it seem like, she had a little bit more going on. But this year, she's actually made it more about the game, which, yes, so now you can kind of ride on Caitlin and because Caitlin's bringing in the viewers. This rivalry game was everybody was watching because of the two people that was playing, but Caitlin's games are selling out way more than everybody else's are. So you gotta, not make it so much about y'all, but make it more about the game and let y'all ride with her and let y'all go up. It's like, you see that
because we got too many people with platforms that want to interject everything but the damn game.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where I was going.
That's it.
That's where I was going.
That's it right there.
Because somebody obviously sat down with Angel in the offseason and said, hey, look, this season, we're not making it personal. Make it about the game. Make it about growing the game. Even if you listen to some of the other players last year, it was a little hate going on last year, but this year now is more like the game. Even from Caitlin and them team, they even said about the foul. Nothing about the person, nothing about who it was and what happened. It was about basketball play. Move on. We trying to grow the game. We're trying to bring our game up
tonight. Okay.
Yeah, like
it's like foul tonight, and what they talk about foul.
Yeah, it's like dudes. It's like right now, dude, in baseball, because baseball had been declining. It's like dudes, if they came out and made it about Ohtani being, Asian,
Japanese,
dude, Ohtani is growing the game, bro. Like, dude, like whatever. It could be a 10 a.m. game on a Tuesday, and Ohtani game is selling out. And them dudes is like, yeah, he hit that moon rocket off of me, and it landed somewhere on the Eastern Seaboard. Hey, he got a good one. And they don't make it about Ohtani and about Ohtani's race and all this other stuff.
The other part to
Yeah.
this that bothers me, and why it bothers me so much, is we now live in an era where you have these clowns that are dangerous. Okay, they're dangerous. Okay, you have people showing up outside Nico Harris's house. So now you got these people that are taking this rivalry and turning it into something it shouldn't be. Who's to say that one of these young women might not get assaulted, bro?
She's getting death threats, bro.
Based on what these people are doing with their platforms. This is dangerous. It is dangerous for them. So they gotta stop, because you are helping to put someone in a precarious situation. And we all know that WNBA security ain't that great based on stuff that's happened in the past. We know this for a fact. Okay? And you want to go out there and you want to fan the flames of hatred? Really?
CK, hey, look, hey, since we going there, bro, we all music fans. I done told people a million times, bro. That's like Kanye. I'm gonna call him Kanye because his mama called him Kanye. Bro, you got a platform and you throwing fuel to this fire, and there's idiots out here that will literally hurt people. Like y'all Yankees fans, me and Steve, we Astros fans, man. As much as I may have fussed about McCullers and him getting paid and not being, dude literally had one bad game and got death threats.
Yeah,
one bad game.
Threatening his children.
Like
awful.
Or since when did people become then lost their goddamn mind? When did we get to the point where a dude has one bad game and y'all giving him death threats? Like
when they gave everybody a damn platform that shouldn't have one.
Yep.
No, I call it when you develop all these studio gangsters. That's what I call them. The studio gangsters, man. You know what they say, dudes that get on the mic and they talk like they big, but they'll never say it to your face.
We call them keyboard warriors.
Yeah, you know, it's these people that they feel like, oh, I can threaten him, I can do all this stuff. So now this dude probably can't sleep at night because he worried about if somebody gonna throw a bomb through my window, or my kids can't go to school because somebody gonna do something to them, and all this stupid stuff. But every once in a while, you do see them one or two idiots that are act upon this stuff, and that's the problem.
That are inflaming this stuff. You got the dudes in New York talking about Juan Soto, right? The stuff they've been saying about Juan Soto on New York radio is ridiculous, bro. I mean, they're attacking this man's character. They're attacking his family. So if you can do it on a national platform, what do you think I'm gonna do as that crazy fool sitting in my mom's basement?
Dude, it's crazy because I may talk crap about you about a sports player. I may talk crap about you about you made a boneheaded play, but I'm not fit to go back and be like, oh, we should go kill his kids and we should do this and we should. No, bro, like, dude, you're taking it too far at that point. At that point, it's getting real personal. And I think a lot of people, they take these stuff personal. They need to go get a life, for one, because sports is sports. Dude, my life don't end because somebody lost the game. Bro, I'm not yeah, like if the Rockets lose, well, the Rockets lost in the playoffs, yeah, I was upset for a day, but then life goes on, man. My life don't end because they done lost or somebody made a bad play or something like that. Of course, we'll talk shit about it, but that doesn't mean that we sit up here
Larry,
and fuel to the fire.
Larry, you're not right now where you're sitting. You're not too far away from where them people went to Bill O'Brien's house.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, they went to Bill O'Brien's house, dog. Like, are you kidding me? You are a goddamn loser if you're that upset behind a sports team to send a death threat or to find out where somebody live and go to somebody's house.
You ain't got nothing else better to do.
Let somebody run up on my house. It would have like they would have had to get a damn paddy wagon to get all them dead motherfuckers out of my front yard.
I'll go even further. Dude, I go. Oh, y'all know I'm from Texas, bro. I don't play like, hey, I'm like Stanley, stay off my yard. But hey, dude, real talk, bro. I go even further. I don't like these cowards and these idiots that sit up here and you give out somebody's phone number, you give out somebody's address. Dude, most of these players and most of these people, their stuff is private. Their stuff is not listed. So somebody had to give out your email address. Somebody had to give out your personal information. Like, these teams need to look at some of their people and be like, you know what? Who leaked this?
Yes.
Who leaked Nico Harris's house address?
Nico Harrison live?
Yeah. Who the hell leaked that? Who worked at the county?
How did they get Shador Sanders' phone number and all the other guys' phone number?
Well, we know how that happened, but I'm just saying, who leaked? They need to find the leak. Who worked at the county office who leaked this man's address?
Or like I remember hearing seriously remember this when they ran up on Tommy Maddox's house.
Yep.
They went to Tommy Maddox's house.
Yeah.
Yep.
How you even find out where this dude live?
Why y'all at Tommy Maddox's house?
And you know he live in a gated community, by the way. These people live in gated communities.
So the security guard saw 100 cars pulling up and was like, let them all through.
The concept of a gated community don't really exist like people think it is. They like, especially like in Pittsburgh, like yeah, they rolled up like I look. CK, you might not believe this, but from right where I'm sitting, like I was talking about, from right where I'm sitting, I can drive and I can go knock on Mike Tomlin's door within a 10-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now.
Are you serious?
That's serious. That's serious. That's
It
serious.
ain't like that in New York, bro.
I can
You go to
leave
Westchester
right
where
now.
some of the Yankees live,
Yeah.
you ain't getting in their neighborhood.
Yeah, I can get off this show right now, get in my car, and I can go knock on Mike Tomlin's door.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. But
That's
like
crazy.
I said, I would want to be like, who leaked it? Find out who leaked it. They the cowards for doing it too. And like I say, bro, it's one of them things where like I said, we on Executive View, we gonna stick to sports. We're not trying to interject nothing about nobody's personal life and nobody's, whatever they preference and all this other crap is, bro. Don't care.
Don't care.
I could give two fucks.
With that being said, it is 11:25, and I got to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
I got stuff to do. With that being said, we're gonna get out of here.
The other side of this foursome, you know what I'm saying, maybe don't have to get up as early as the other side of this foursome. So yeah, let's get out of here.
Get out of here. With that being said, get this plug and close and shut it down, big dog.
Man, look, Executive View. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday, like, man, boardroom meeting, another successful boardroom meeting. Man, look, backstage business tomorrow. 3/4 of this show, we got to figure out when we're going to do a launching pad and bring Jesse in, do the season in the launch pad, which I don't want to. Like, look, if you see the link, share the link. That's what we say. That's our mantra, and that's something that we truly believe in. So you already know how I close it out. God is good.
All the time.
All the time. Make sure y'all drink y'all water. Stay hydrated. Please. It's already 92 degrees in Houston, as Larry can tell you. It's already,
it is, bro. That's 92 without the humidity, bro.
Without the humidity, so it's like, yeah. So, and of course, get them dubs up. Wu-Tang is for the children. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Backstage
yes,
business.
sir. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you, big dog. CK, you know what to do, my guy. Get us out of here.
It was a lot of fun tonight, man. I enjoyed doing this, man. I got to release a little bit of frustration. So I'm at the VA right now.
Don't touch yourself after the show.
6,570 veterans committed suicide last year. 988 option 1. We need to get that number down to 0. If you're a veteran, family member veteran, friend of a veteran, there's things to do. Summertime's coming. Contact your rec therapist. Get outside. Move a muscle, change your thought. You can do anything for 10 minutes. So find something to do for 10 minutes. It'll change your day. Say yes to life. Enjoy tonight, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. Yo, I cannot echo that enough. Again, move your body, change your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's good stuff right there. Larry, you know what to do, my guy.
Oh man, it really was good stuff, man. We know CK about to go watch his after school special on that 19-inch TV. Background. Yeah, people that don't. Hey, so we just talked about people that don't go back and research history. There was such thing as called a 19-inch TV.
Right.
Yeah.
My man had to go up there and turn it with the pliers.
TV, no remote. Look, turn it to channel 3 to watch your video. Yeah, like dude, like research your history, man. But yeah, nah, bro, it was a good show. Like we try not to get away from no topic on the show, man. Hey, look, if we got to get into it, we'll get into it. Hey, we try to make sure we stick it to sports, but sometimes, man, sports and life intertwine. So we gotta get it where we get it. Like I say, always a pleasure, y'all. I know it's late. I know y'all got to get up, and I do too, even though I'm still an hour behind y'all. Peace. I'm out.
Hey, big dog, appreciate you, man. Yo, it's your boy Sears up in that 412 and the 703, man. It's such a privilege and an absolute pleasure doing this show with everybody who comes through and kicks it with us, man. Again, on tomorrow, Backstage Business is going to be on and popping. We're going to be talking about everything from Monday Night Raw, last Friday SmackDown. We may hit tonight's NXT, but it's all in preparation for Saturday's Money in the Bank. We got a lot of stuff to talk about as the summer starts to unwind, and Saturday's main event, and then got Money in the Bank and SummerSlam and a bunch of other stuff popping up later on down the road. Special shout out to my friends over at Nonsense Thoughts for partnering with us, man. Before I even go, man, the homie Corey, love you, big dog. Take care of whatever you got to take care of, man. Get back to your podcast, man. It's a pleasure sharing the space with you, man, or whatever you got going on. You know that you're not alone, man. We're gonna rock with you all the way through, man. My man Aaron and Justin are not taking over Nonsense and Deep Thoughts while Corey's away, so shout out to them. Aaron will be with me tomorrow. With us tomorrow here on the rest of the show. And I say this all the time, man, as I get out of here. God is good, even though sometimes people aren't, man. God bless you guys. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.